You watching the game tomorrow,
It's interesting you dropped down to second on that last corner, Daz.
I'll get more drive out of it.
I find first better there.
Right, so if you own an Amazon Fire Stick or Fire...
Oh.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Let's be having you. I'll have some ketchup. Have I got chicken or beef burger? Both? I thought we were having one burger with smashed potatoes.
Fat cunt.
Mayo on the chicken, tomato on the beef. Both?
Do you normally go first there?
Yeah.
Ketchup. Yeah, and a fork.
That's the one I struggle with, that bend there.
Yeah, I struggle with that. I try and go wider and do a more one continuous arch into it, but I wouldn't go off my time. I wouldn't go off me, look at my time.
Jay, Tim Benton why I was resetting so much. Might put hashtag ACC event page. I put hashtag reasons.
Lovely. Oh, Jake.
Oh, there you go. They're holding a shirt in his respect there, telling the Greek national side, look.
Yeah.
Greece versus England. Oh, I don't know if Saka's playing. No, I don't think he is, dude. Yeah, they're having a minute's silence for him as well, look. I don't know why they're bothering. He only played for Sheffield United.
He's got two brothers.
He was born in 93.
Sam, who still plays, and his other brother James is the doctor at Oxford.
Who does Sam play for?
I can't remember.
Oh, get in. My old man's only fucking finally dug out my Spectrum.
Good man.
Or my Spectrums.
No, I don't think Harry Kane is playing.
So they've been hidden in the garage and hasn't seen the light of day in excess of 15 years.
Yeah, mine is safely tucked away in the wardrobe.
He says there appears to be a 128k Spectrum, a 48k Spectrum housing, a Spectrum style real keyboard which he suspects contains the 48k Spectrum and a load of games, and one of his ZX81s.
I got a ZX81 48k plus a 16k rubber key.
Well, I've just ordered. Have you seen the Spectrum?
I've seen the Spectrum next. I've not seen the Spectrum.
No, so it's called the Spectrum. It's 90 quid. It's an imitation of a 48k Spectrum keyboard. Rubber keys, the lot, but it's an emulator basically with an HDMI port.
Ooh,
and you can load Spectrum games on it.
Oh, what?
And keep them on. It's got Basic is still on it and all sorts.
Oh, nice.
And it comes preloaded with 48 games. So I've ordered that and a Crossfire joystick or something it is that you can go with it. So I've ordered that and that's coming in November, but it's my Christmas present. So I'm fucking having Bomb Jack on my big telly.
Right. Oh, Bomb Jack! Oh, there's a blast! Fucking hell! Pardon the pun.
Hey! Tone's on one tonight, Jake.
Oh.
He's been witty.
I've put him in his place.
Right, I'm going to set our party up, boys, and then I'm just going to nip and top my drink up and get ready.
Yeah, I'm going to drink as well.
Good luck.
I might need a bucket.
Cheers, I'm going to fucking need
it. Matt, are you going to mention Murray?
Murray?
Would have been his 101st birthday today. I think would it today anyway?
Would it have been? Let me Google that.
Oh, quick Google. Get that on there.
Just double check it.
Good luck whoever's not in our party.
Yeah, best luck, dude. Murray Walker. 10th of October, yeah. It would have been 101. Only been 3 years since we lost Murray. Jeez. Feels longer, doesn't it?
It do.
Doesn't look exactly sold out, Tone, does it? But saying that, who's going to want to waste their fucking Thursday evening with to watch Grease?
Oh.
About 70 quid a ticket or whatever they charge.
Oh.
Is that how much it is?
I don't know, I'm just exaggerating there, Daz.
You're probably not.
Daz, you still wanted me to invite Jay in?
Yes, please.
Alright.
What's up to you, dude? Whatever you fancy.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
Fucking Jesus
He needs
Christ. It is as well. 80 quid, 65 quid, 45 quid and 35 quid.
Yeah, you go.
Fucking Jesus, man.
The 35 quid ones will be in the top tier.
Yeah.
80 quid.
The dearer ones will be like the lower tiers behind the goals and what have you.
That's a joke, innit? That's an actual joke.
For a friendly.
No, well, yeah, kind of.
It's a jumped up friendly.
Yes, please, dude.
Question is, do we go topless? I don't know.
Oh, good save. Like watching us on Pro Clubs, that was all messy on the edge of the box. One of us gets a shot away.
It's always messy on the edge of the box, Matt.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's called a spillage, that is.
Check it, check it.
You can watch telly while you're having your dinner.
Okay, quietly confident now.
Have you set the party up yet, Dan?
He has set up, I'm just getting in there now.
Okay.
Alright.
Best of luck, dude. Yep, cheers, dude. Best of luck, mate. Have a good one.
Catch you later.
Tell Mike best of luck as well for me and Daz. Have a good one yourself, buddy.
Oh, keep it clean enough.
Oi, dude, before you go, listen to me now. Don't let him get in your head about your strategy. Be confident in the strategy you're picking and running.
I have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Don't let him get in your head. First race. Be more wary of your mirrors of what's lunging behind you than what's in front.
Yeah.
Get through them. Get onto that first straight. Then attack. I reckon,
Right
dude.
on.
Right,
Okay.
but be confident
Nice
in
one.
your strategy, not his.
Will do. I will do. I'll catch you later.
See you later, dude. How you going?
I'll be over in a bit.
Yeah, okay.
God damn. Right, so these up.
It's going to be all out England attack this by the looks of it.
No Peeny been in the party?
No, we don't join the
No.
parties. You go straight to the comms box.
Yeah.
You must be a bit behind me, Tom.
Yeah.
Not all England all out attack, is it?
Well, that's the first time they've been forward.
Oh, pardon me.
What did you end up having for your tea, dude?
I done a couple of chicken steaks.
Oh, lovely.
I hummed and hard for about 5 minutes and I'll fuck it. Stick them in.
Did your mate ring you back?
Yes, yeah. He's had a load of paperwork come through and he's stressing, poor fucker. It's like, don't worry.
Has he still got a load of family down at Minotaur?
No. It's just, yeah. His family are kind of, I don't know, it's a strange setup there.
Yeah.
And their family, like I say, they live over near Yarmouth. So, he just wanted a bit of advice. I said, well, if I can help, I will.
Check up here and joining you tonight, Tim.
Oh,
How long are we giving it? After I passed to him.
Oh, before you mentioned something,
Just mention
God.
something. Anything.
reasons.
I bet it'll be something, oh, I'm tired from uncle duties or some bollocks like that. I'm going to say about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And us being Goodness.
Next week, I'm expecting the... Oh, I want it, Kyle Army.
Oh, fucking hell. I think I'm washing my hair that night.
And then at Mondra, I'm expecting the old...
Oh, yeah, would have won.
Yeah.
Right, let's load SimPlay up and pop on that.
I love, by the way,
screen.
how he says he's never got time for anything. But every time there's a race night on, he's always online.
Oh, yeah. Destiny's by the wayside and.
Won't get time to play Outhouse. Well, maybe play something else while.
Yeah. How about you let your sister sort her own fucking kids out?
Who did they just call England star man?
The last time he's on about Beckham and that free kick.
Oh, against Greece, right.
Mm.
That was taken to a World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it did.
Not a second division Nations League match.
Should I jump in the comms box with Peen and just go, Matt ain't doing it tonight?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Back in a
Just
sec.
be like, I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
he ain't live or anything, is he? No, he won't be live.
No, just be like, I don't know what's going on, but Matt's not doing it. He's just had a
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. There's been a spillage. No. Right, hang on, let's wind him up.
Emily's got it.
Where is it? Where is it?
Okay, going
Oh,
up to
back
1p.
in a sec.
When you turned the telly off for breakfast, where'd you put the controller?
Your PS controller on the bed. Axel did go back up there though when I turned it off as I woke up. Peony will be going fucking berserk. Or he'll be thinking Jay's doing it with him. Not so.
He's pissed off now.
Shall I go in there?
I've beaten him in the chat.
Shall I go in there? Do you think he said it by now? Tone?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
that's right. Do you think he said it by now?
you.
In I go.
Yeah.
Right. He's back. What did he say?
That confused him. Fucking hell. He went, Jay, you're in the comms box. I went, yep. A quick message from Matt. He might not be able to make it. I don't know what's happened, but he said, could you just let Peony know? I thought I was fucking talking to fucking Left Turn Clyde.
Shall I go in there now then, Jay?
No, leave it a minute or two. He's now going to set his stream up or something. He's really panicking. Let the cunt suffer. I said, if he can, he will. I said, but hold fire before you do anything. Might give him another fucking throat shit.
Live.
For you dickhead.
Live on air.
Yeah.
Is it a penalty?
Yeah, I have to just say, so I don't know, that all kicked off, but I managed to fucking sort whatever it were.
Yeah, I'm going to say Emily was in labour, but I've put a cork in it.
Yeah, she's no conservative.
Is that a goal? No.
Nearly.
No.
Fucking Pickford, what he was fucking about, I don't know.
Right, anyway, dude, so I'm going to jump over with Daz and...
Yeah, I'm going to go in there.
So. Oh, hang on, Peony's...
There's Matt. I can't remember how to turn off the voiceover. What is it?
1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute. System.
Oh, fuck, it's been ruled out.
Ah.
I was coming back in to be like, hey, it's been ruled out. What a con.
Well, he's having a fucking great game so far, Pickford, isn't he? Fuck me.
I don't rate him, dude. I don't rate him. Right, see you in a bit.
Righto.
I just went live in case.
Yep, no worries, dude.
You know that, right? In case you did have to shoot off and then
Yeah, everything should be okay now, but...
Yeah, I went right. As Jay was saying, I was then changing my stream title to go live, in case. I don't have enough. Well, you're here, so I could just turn the overlay on, can't I? So if anyone chats on my stream, I'll just go, hey you, head to SimPlay Motorsport.
Okay. We'll turn the lights off and everything in there, and I'm starting streaming in a minute.
Oh, Gary's
Leave
made
this
it. Max Verstappen's not here.
I'm not overly fretting. Was it just Max for crashing?
Just Max for crashing. We've got 28 if not. But, as I said on Discord, Sky's in. He must have been one of the lucky ones. McGuire is fastest.
Is he? What a shame he starts from the back and has a quali bar.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh. Okay, now I hate having to rush me dinner.
Now you know why I can't make some Tuesdays and Wednesdays, because getting back on...
It's not even that, dude, it's just that fucking... I'd have done it, but I had to go and pick up a prescription for these diabetes things.
For being pregnant, yeah, pregnant. My sister had them when she was pregnant with my niece. She was. God, that was 4 years ago. Oh, bloody hell.
Taker is 16th. Although,
yeah, I bet you he's going to moan.
1 second separates the top 18.
I bet you he'll moan about the BOP.
100%.
Because the Lexus is minus 32. The Mustang's plus 6. Should have went the Bentley, shouldn't you, Taker? With minus 40.
Well, he said last week in the interview, his words, was that the Mustang felt more like the Bentley on the PS4 with the bob.
Really? 16 says otherwise. I mean, you got O'Reilly, who's breaking a new wheelbase in 6. Let me know if you want me to shut down my end.
Yeah. Okay, should be fine, dude.
Yeah, so I just
I'm loving that, by the way. 18 separated by just over a second.
Yeah. But 26 by a second and a half. It's just Gary at the back and Coin answer to that. Right, I'll just shut down my screen. If you've been watching, head to SimPlay Motorsport and you catch all the action there. And like and subscribe.
On
to
YouTube.
My YouTube channel. On YouTube and to my YouTube channel for more trains.
Right. Keyboard. If I'm quiet, it's probably because I'm just finishing my last half of a burger, but we need to get underway. Right, okay. Double check my cameras are all working. Yep. Okay. 5, 4. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for the next instalment, of the Pro Series. It is going to be a fantastic night worth of racing, let me tell you that one. But before we get started, great to see Tracy in the chat. Hopefully all is well, Tracy. Great to see Tibbs back out on the circuit. Obviously waking up to see the effects of what happened last night in Florida. So great to see you guys are safe and okay. I'm back online. That is the most important thing. We've got 28 cars. The only driver who is missing is Max for crashing at this moment in time. So hopefully he gets out there onto the track as well in a few moments' time. Because the grid order is obviously set for race 1. A few new drivers as well making their first outings tonight in this Pro Series. That is the likes of... and again, I apologise if I end up butchering a few of these names, but we know we've got Gary Leach. He's back this season, obviously, for Team SPR with Darren Yo. Who Darren steps up from the GT4s. He is now into the GT3s. He's driving in another Ferrari 296. Matthias Giggle is in the Ferrari 296 as well. Great to see him out there on the track. Tommaso Cosmi, also another driver out there in the Aston Martin. So it's another Aston Martin on that grid to prove and see what it can do, as well as a returning face and already on good pace. Michael Eckholt is also back with us, and Patrick Leisure is how I'm going to give that one in a 296, hoping to do well this season. But Phil, we're here at Misano to end this week of what has been really 3 different nights, or 2 different nights so far, of great racing at this moment. We're going to end it off with what looks to be, you're looking at that top 18 a second, top 20, 26 separated by a second and a half. We're going to end this week with what looks to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, and, well, it's a bike circuit, so it's got plenty of runoff, so there should be less contact, one would hope. There's no mountain to get caught up in. At first. But yeah, 28 cars, maybe 29 if a crashing can get in. And that's a really good turnout for the second week.
Yeah, like we said, a few new drivers turning up is absolutely fantastic. And this is going to make it even better as well. As well as, if you missed last night, we've got a brand new graphic, thanks to Hypertech, who's just in the chat now. Been making some new graphics. We may not have one for GT4. It may be the championship standings. We'll wait and see what happens. Obviously, talks continuing about the GT4 series at the moment. 4 minutes left, though, of practice. And a quick run through of that current championship standings for you from last time out. It is Overtaker, who's on 106 points, 4 clear of Dan Davis. Max Mulder is P3 with Diz in 4th. Sebastian Wittrup is P5. Tim Ventink is 6th with Richard Beasley P7. Ben is in 8th with Jamal Clouden P9. Struggled a little bit last week in that Mercedes, and lap times, only 7/10th, but being in 10th is a bit more of a struggle. The top 20 now are separated by a second, by the way. After Clouden is Darren Yo, Sky Schundelmeyer's P11, Emmanuel Machado P12, Daniel is P13, Paolo 14th, Mike Matthews from Verkrashen, M. Wright from Vienna, Skunky, Blackmore, Harris, Gary Leach, O'Reilly, and then obviously McGowan, Eckholt, Leisure, Cosme, Giggle, and Who Darren. Another thing to just point out, Phil, about tonight is a couple of drivers have qualifying bans, and for McGowan, he starts from the back of the pack. Now, it's not the back of the pack in terms of the reverse drivers. Obviously, he would have been placed to the back of the pack before they were signed up. So he's been demoted to the back of the pack in terms of P24, then becomes the new drivers in there. So he's ahead of a fewer cars, but he's right on that tail of Overtaker and Dan Davis. And at the minute, McGowan has got good pace. He is the quickest driver around here.
Yeah, well, Italian car, Italian track. But Dan's not far off pace with the Lexus.
No.
Well, both Eckholt in the McLaren, and then O'Reilly in the Aston, and Vienna in the...
It's good to see this, isn't it? This is, I think, what Pro's been longing for quite a while. We dropped down to 27 now. 1.7 separate the top 27. Machado's the only one who's not done a lap. So this is just fantastic, isn't it? This is just going to be an absolutely... this could be a free-for-all in this race tonight.
Well, hopefully it's clean.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's clean. So yeah, but this is like all the best spices in the world, all starting to mix together for the place. We're talking about food already again, like you and Dan were last night in Pro-Am.
We are. But hey, it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing, that is for sure. If you want to obviously hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up as well if you are there, hit that bell to be notified when we go live. We'll be back live next Tuesday with GT Force with Dan Davis, bringing you the action from the first night race and the only night race of the season from Kyle Army. Then we head to South Africa for that race as we go into the African continent. Myself and Dan will be back for Pro-Am next Wednesday, myself and Phil tonight, and we'll bring you the action next Thursday night as well. You can be sure on that one. Phil, though, going into this first race, obviously reverse grid, I'm not going to go through it at the moment, I'll wait for the graphic to come up, but who do you fancy looking at the lap times out here so far?
Well, Dan's just off fastest, but it depends. The undercut worked quite well last night when I was watching Pro-Am, so maybe the guys starting further back, as long as they can keep their car out of other cars or the wall, and survive the first 5 minutes of the race. Yeah, that's right, until it opens at 15 minutes to go.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as they can survive, pit early, get out of the traffic, because this pit lane is not exactly short.
No, it's not exactly short, and this is going to be the tricky thing. I think it's 63 seconds for a loss around here. Did Hugh Darren win on Monday night in the GT4? He did. For some reason that hasn't registered as a race win for him. So I'll double check that now while I'm just going through the stats pages. But yeah, it's going to be a cracking night. Oh no, it did register a win. He didn't get a pole, did he? So that's why it's not registered anything. So. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be a cracking night, isn't it, of action around this circuit. And, you know, the bike circuits bring something a little different. We say about Mount Panorama last week, you know, that's a challenge for the driver as the driver. This is a little different for the car more than the driver to get used to.
Yeah, well, some people only have knowledge of this place from bike racing anyway. Same with Valencia when we go back there.
And I did a broadcast on Tuesday evening before the GT4s. We was at Valencia then, and you know that was a similar conversation there, was how different this circuit is compared to other circuits because of the fact it is a bike circuit and the challenges that having a bike circuit gives you compared to the likes of when we go to Kyle Army next week.
No, as Tibbs just asked in Discord, does the two commentators take up driver spots? No. Yeah, the crashing can't get in apparently. I'll just check the Discord. So
I will just look at the entry list, but he is on there. Nobody was removed because everybody had confirmed that they was racing. Mike, Dan, Ben, Machado, Clouden, Max, Beasley, Schundelmeyer, O'Reilly, Gary, Wittrup, Harris, Skunky, Yo, Diz, Paolo, Viana, Daniel. Yeah, Max McCrashen is on there, so that's a shame.
As we go, flick to helicopter cam. Oh, this is great. These camera angles.
I know, they're brilliant, aren't they? We're going to change the helicopter cam on our side as well then. And we're just going to wait for the drivers to get underway.
That's another thing that's going to come into play here. Track limits.
Yes, massively. We saw last night, didn't we?
Yeah, somebody got a penalty for track limits twice, didn't you, Fat Bloke?
Fat Bloke did, yeah. Fat Bloke got two penalties
and
last night.
And a couple of people got disqualified.
That's the thing that Mike has noticed, that we can actually turn off and it will give them a stop go. So I think that's something that's possibly going to be looked into for next week going forward, so the drivers aren't being disqualified for losing their car, really, because that's all that happened. They lost control of the car.
Well, yeah, you're trying to recover. You've lost a ton of time anyway because you're facing the wrong way.
Exactly. So, yeah, we think that's what the issue is going to be. I'm just looking through to make sure everything's okay with Max's thing as well. Obviously, there's not a lot we can do for now.
No, but normally the commentators don't take up the spot, so...
No, they don't.
And if you're on the entry list, you can get in anyway. as they begin the warm-up lap here, and Beasley has missed the start straight away.
Yeah.
I'm just strolling down.
Already on the back foot then, isn't he, in this one? Right, well, let's bring you our fantastic new graphic. First of all, let's get the poll out there for who you think is going to win the race. If you're pressing other, please let us know in the chat who you think is going to win it. Good evening to Trace, like we said. Rob Smith, evening all. Looks like I woke up just in time. Hypertech, good afternoon, everyone. Roll on Kyle Army, he says. Tracy, hi Phil, I'm Matt. We're doing well, thank you. Great to hear. Fat Bloke, evening chaps. Looking forward to another great race tonight. Let's see how the pros handle the track limits. Good evening to Chris and Tips as well. Evening all. Good luck to Gowney and Aaron, he's saying in the chat. And if I press this magic button here, we can get straight in to our reverse grid as it transitions through now. As you can see, it is Kieran O'Reilly on pole from Gary Leach. If they have a white livery, that's because we don't have access to them yet. Michael Harris from Ed Blackmore. P5 and 6 will be Skunky High and Pedro Viana. P7 and 8 will be Matt Wright. Max for crashing, which leaves a hole, so everybody will go up one place. P9 is Mike Matthews from Paolo. P10, 11 and 12 is Daniel Alls and Insert Coin, a.k.a. Machado. Sky Schundelmeyer, 13th from Daz Automatic in P14. Jamal Clouden, P15 from Ben in P16. Richard Beasley, P17 from Tim Wentink in P18. Stephen Wittrup, P19 from Diz in P20. P21 is Max Mulder from Dan Davis in 22nd place. 23rd and 24th will be Overtaker and Ian McGowan. 25th for Michael Eckholt with Patrick Lager in 26th place. 27th will be Cosme and Giggle in 28th. And rounding out the back, Who Darren on his own there. Although, Who Darren now will be lined up actually on that row with somebody because he's now going to be, with the no max for crashing, he's going to be, that free space will be taken up by somebody.
Yeah, well, if you want the commentators' cars on, if he represented as a banner as well, the Team Parker Racing Bentley, that's what I mean. And Matt's in his GT4 car.
Indeed, I am. Good evening to Gaza in the stream as well. Richard Beasley stalked my Twitch and took me straight to the pits. Oh, that's a shame for Richard Beasley. Not sure what's happened there. So he's not going to have to wait too long, though. I think it's as the last car passes him is when he can start. So he's not going to be too far behind. But Phil, race 1, who are you going for?
I'll tell you what, he was rapid, as long as his internet holds out. Touch wood, quick. Gary. Mr. Leach.
I'm looking at Skunky in P5 is what I'm going to go for. Of course, I voted for my Skyboo. FYI, we call him Skyboo. I believe he said something similar last season, Tracy, so no problem. So she's rooting for Sky. At the minute, Gary Leach has got the votes on the poll. Well, we round the final corner, Phil. Round 3 of the season. Drop scores will take effect this week. Gary, to me, looks slightly out of position. They're too close to the right. He looks like he's moved back across now. So that is hopefully in his favour, and he wasn't too close from the right. And it's a drive-through penalty for Overtaker. Already at the start of this race, the Ford Mustang has picked himself up a drive-through penalty, and that is going to be catastrophic for him in this one. But Gary Leach does do what you said he'd do, and he's taken the lead of this race already.
Yeah, he's just trying to say, please be on our internet and not the neighbours, and...
There's O'Reilly now side by side with Harris going in towards turn 3 and 4. Everybody looks like they've got away pretty cleanly. Going back down to Darren Yeo, who was 12th place at the start. Looks a very good start. Overtakers around the outside. He's just been overtaken around the outside. That is one of the Team Dan. Was it? Well, I can't remember which one it was, but somebody's off in the wall. It was the one of the white and red cars. Overtaker now is up the inside of Darren Yeo, coming in towards the hairpin. So Overtaker's making up some places here already at the start, hugging it tight towards the apex of the corner, and Darren Yeo just going a little backwards at the moment. Meanwhile, out front, it's been a great start. In fact, we're going to stay with Darren Yeo, who's just tumbled down the order. He's got Dan and one of the pink cars just behind him. Believe that is Giggle. Oh, there is a pile-up of cars out the hairpin. I believe Sky Schundelmeyer's in that. Jamal Clouden is in it as well, and Overtaker's been overtaken. Now Michael Eckholt is on the grass trying to get past out of Overtaker as they all come through here. It is chaos everywhere already at the moment, and the 993 is in the pits. Who Darren is returned to the pit lane. Eckholt looking up the inside of Overtaker. That is then going to be Machado, who's trying to follow Eckholt through and go up the inside. Dan's looking around the outside. Machado's there. Great move from Dan. Has he just been able to keep it up the inside for the next part? He has. So has Overtaker. No, he hasn't actually on Eckel. And Overtaker straight in for a stop go. That'll cost you 20 odd seconds in this race. But it's Gary Leach from Kieran O'Reilly. And then it was, I believe still is actually, Edward Blackmore, who is in the next position in P3 from Skunky, from Vienna. Matt Wright, Paolo from Mike Matthews. Michael Harris from Wittrup, from Tim Venting, Darren Yo. Giggle from Max Mulder. Ben from Eckholt, from Dan Davis. Machado, Leisure, Cosme, Diz, McGowan, Shundelmeyer, Jamal Clouden, and then Overtaker. Daniel is in the pits. Richard Beasley may get on the back of Overtaker, and who Darren already could be a retirement in this first part of the race. But Gary Leach already, Phil, doing what he needs to out front.
Yeah, but O'Reilly's looking very strong in that red Aston. Should be great.
Drive-through cleared for Overtaker. Richard Beasley did get past him there. We're just going to drop back down to that Michael Eckholt, Dan Davis fight. That was a good little battle that was developing. And as you can see there is a gaggle of cars right behind. This is on board then with Dan Davis, looking back at Michael Eckholt, looking forward onto Michael Eckholt. And that Lexus through this section, Phil, this is where it could be really quick. Look at him gain on Eckholt here. Looks to the outside, tries to go the long way around, drifts a little wide. Still just there, trying to now go around the outside on the brakes, goes wide onto the runoff area. And that is going to allow Machado to come up the inside. I don't think was able to get enough momentum alongside. And no, Dan Davis managed to hold on to that place. But already, you're just seeing the marbles taking effect here, Phil.
Yep, and the track's been optimum more morning or evening as it is, because this is an evening race. Is it an evening race or a morning race? I'm just checking. Evening race.
That is who Darren, who has come out the pit lane and rightly so has just pulled out of the way of the oncoming traffic. Gary is 6/10 clear. There is Skunky on the back of Blackmore with Vienna. Matt Wright near him. Mike Matthews trying to gain on Paolo. Mike Matthews up in 8th place at the moment. That is Darren Yo, who is trying to stick to the back of Tim Venting. Giggles on the back of him at this stage of the race as well. We're seeing Dan Davis once again on the back of that of Michael Eckholt. Just behind them you've got Cosme and Lager in a good fight. McGowan's trying to get past Diz. They're dropping Sky Shundelmeyer at the moment. And then Richard Beasley in no man's land from Overtaker. Daniel's back out of the pits, and who Darren gets going as well. But back to that Giggle Darren Yo fight. Darren Yo who's trying to get closer to Tim Ventic, coming under a bit of pressure now from Giggle in the background, and it is 4 Ferraris here. And as we go to that helicopter shot, there you can see everybody. What has happened? Dan Davis is around, Phil.
He is, and I was watching the battle for the lead then, to be honest. Close to the replay.
Not sure what happened there. Yeah, you check the replay. Darren Yo, though, still defending from that. There's 2 more off. That's Machado. I believe Machado is... Vienna, sorry. I believe he's also off. He is indeed. Somebody else was with him. Car 46. That is Vienna who we're on board with. And Gary now coming under pressure from Vienna. So already a crazy opener to this race. 5 minutes in, with the pit window opening in 3 seconds. Drivers could dip into the pit lane. And will anybody come in? The 98 is the first call there. That is Daniel to get his stop done. His race has already been ruined. He's straight in for that stop. What about the 46 of Vienna? He's straight in. What about Beasley and Overtaker then? Are them two also going to drive into the pit lane, try and get their stop done, seeing as how powerful the undercut was last night?
Oh, Dan went for a move on the inside of Eckholt, and there was contact, and Dan spun. Half spun, while Eckholt carried on.
Overtaker into the pit lane. This is Darren Yo, who is on the back then now. He's still got Giggle on the back of him. Tim Ventic made a lunge up the inside and has tapped Wittrup right, and now he's slow. Wittrup has a wiggle out the corner. Here comes Yo and Giggle, and Wittrup tries to rejoin, but Darren Yo's already there. And Darren Yo, thank your mama for the carrots. 2 places gained. Wittrup now goes deep at the corner, and now Tim Ventic trying to come back around the outside of Darren Yo, can't do so there. The Lexus of Harris is on the back of Paolo. Mike Matthews now moves up to P5, but the leaders, Phil, still going at it. It is chaos here today.
It's chaos, and this is going to help Gary and O'Reilly get a really half-decent result. Well, Blackmore set the fastest lap of the race.
Blackmore has set the fastest lap of the race. He's going to be hoping to get onto the back of them as quick as he
O'Reilly's in.
possibly can. O'Reilly's in. That could be sensible. Blackmore also comes in. Matt Wright stays out. Mike stays out. Paolo and Harris stay out. What does Darren Yeo do? Possibly a good move from Darren Yeo. Believe that was Giggle who sold a dummy there. He didn't come in. Witchup is in. Eckholt is in. Machado stays out. That is Cosme who comes in. Dan Davis also stays out. Dan on comms last night. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for that undercut, seeing how strong it was at this stage of the race. Leisure is also in. Daniel needs to come back out on track. He has gone green, but he's yet to go. Jamal Clouden also into the pit lane. And Gary right now, we saw how strong the overcut was, Phil. He needs to hope and pray that he can carry on with his pace at the moment. And Giggle now is ahead of Tim Venting. Tim Venting is coming under pressure from Ben behind. Excuse me. And Ben obviously running under the same stable as each other, if you will. Ben's going to want to get through here.
Yeah, and Beasley's just set fastest lap of the race. Has he stopped? Because he still hasn't.
No,
gone
Beasley
through.
didn't stop now.
No. Okay, so he's got O'Reilly behind him, but
I believe Overtaker stopped on the opening lap. Beasley did not. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on as this night comes through, though. Going back further forward to Dan Davis on the back now of Diz. Diz had a good showing in GT4 the other night, and he's done well of himself already in week 1 of Pro. And he's now got Dan Davis in a very quick Lexus, but Dan's going to try and go to that outside line once again here at Misano. And this didn't work for him around there with Eckholt. Got onto the marbles and went a little wide. Round the outside, Dan Davis tries to go. Manages to keep it within the track limits this time. Dizzo stays on that inside line. Can Dan get the pull out the corner to be up the inside? He's not. Is he going to try the move? No, stays where he is. And they've got Sky Shundelmeyer gaining on the back of them. And Dan Davis, Diz goes wide. I thought Dan was going to pull it into the pits, but it's not. Stop-go penalty for the 993. That's Darren, who hasn't completed his pit stop. Stop-go penalty for him. As we've got Matt Wright, Giggle, Tim Venting, and then Ben and Skunky all into the pits. So in terms of that battle, Darren Yeo was the one who was closest to them. Darren Yeo is not far behind Eckholt, who is yet to complete his pit stop. Where will Darren Yeo come out? I don't think Darren Yeo had a great pit stop because he's lost out to Wittrup.
no, I'm just trying to see. Someone's caused a yellow flag in the pit lane. I can't really
That
see
is the
number.
993 or the 998. That is either Leisure or Darren.
Darren's on track, so
Well, everybody, the whole lot are coming out of the pits. I believe that's the 993, the 998 and a Patrick Leisure. Everybody's coming out of the pit lane. Here comes Daz Automatic, who's battling with Tim Venting and everybody, and he's lost out to a lot of cars. But Skunky's got a stop-go penalty, and Darren, yeah, well, whatever happened in the pit stop, it has not worked for him. And now we've got Mike Matthews running P2 with Harris hunting him down. Also back to Sky Shundelmeyer. He's lost out touch to Dan Davis, in fact. And then in this fight in the middle of the pack, O'Reilly, your net second place man, from Matt Wright, from Giggle, from Blackmore, who's lost out in the pits as well. And you're seeing there Tim Venting just defending a little bit from Ben as Gary stays out on track.
yeah, Mike's in. Oh, he hit the wall coming in. Darren's in for his. Is that Darren?
He's in the pits, yeah. Hopefully he's in for his stop-go or his drive-through penalty, his stop-go or for his pit stop. But Mike Matthews then the only one of the leaders into pit lane. Then this is one of the closest fights on circuit. Tim Venting with that of Ben just behind them. They've got Darren Yeo hunting them down. This is on board Ben's Aston Martin. It's a little wider than Tim in there. It's going to be crucial for Ben. How much time is he going to be losing behind Tim? Is he going to be telling Tim to move out of the way? Just wondering if we're in the same part. This is such a close race already, Phil, isn't it? Sky Shundelmeyer's in and out.
Yeah, Mike should probably just put the bare minimum in. He's not repaired the car, carry on. McGowan is up to P8 at the moment, but obviously pit stops are still happening.
So where is Mike Matthews? 302 stop-go penalty. That is Skunky. He's got another one to go. There is Mike Matthews. Has he come out next second? Whoa, very close to the front of Matt Wright's car. And Mike Matthews somehow here has put himself ahead of this train, which could put him net podium at the moment. He's behind O'Reilly by 8 seconds, but is doing well as Matt Wright is under pressure from Giggle and from Blackmore as well then. So Skunky with a stop-go. Stop-go cleared for Darren, but he's still got to pit. So does Patrick Leisure, although that looks possibly to me like a retirement, as Mike Matthews now hopefully will not have too much damage on that car to keep it going. But your running order is Gary Leach from Michael Harris from Paolo, who now pits. Max Mulder stays out for one more time. Emmanuel Machado is going to stay out. What about Dan Davis? He also is going to stay out for the long run. And then it is Diz, McGowan and Richard Beasley yet to pit. As Diz comes straight in, McGowan stays out, and Beasley's not quite near the pit lane yet. But back down to that fight between Giggle on the back of Matt Wright. In fact, Mac Matthews has started to gap Matt Wright right now.
Yeah, and, well, O'Reilly's not past Beasley, so Beasley's got plenty of pace in his Lexus. Lexus.
That's going to help Gary as Giggle taps round Wright. And that's allowed Blackmore through. And as Wright spins it onto the grass to get it round, and that's also a tap on Darren Yeo. And I believe that was Skunky who's got the stop-go penalty, has tapped into the back of Darren Yeo. And Skunky comes in for that stop-go penalty, but possibly just trying to be a little impatient. Clouden still in the pit lane. What's happened to Clouden? Is that a retirement for Jamal?
No, he's moving. Jamal's moving. He's just coming out.
Well, whatever's happened there is a long stop. He's down in 25th. His season has not started the way he wanted it to. And O'Reilly at the minute, 1.8 off the back of Richard Beasley. There is probably time for one more lap. Just looking at who is still in the pits. Clouden in the pits. Who Darren's now back in. Legier stationary. And Daniel is out. So Patrick Legier could be a retirement on his debut. Back then to this fight. In fact, who's that? That is Giggle side by side, looking up the inside of Blackmore in towards the hairpin, and job done for Matthias Giggle. That is a great move. Tim Venting goes a little wide, and Ben can't capitalise on that. But you have to wonder. Gary goes one more. He's got the time to do it. Harris in. Mulder stays out. Machado in. Dan stays out. McGowan. This is going to be interesting for him. He's coming into the pits. He has got the fastest lap. What will Beasley do? Phil, so much action already in the first opening 15 minutes of this race.
Well, at least with your feature race, we've got 25 minutes before the pit window open.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely crazy. Richard Beasley now comes into the pits. That's going to release that then of Kieran O'Reilly. Took his maiden win in GT3s. Let's not forget in the Ford Mustang back at Valencia last season, as Blackmore still gaining on the back then of that of Giggle, but can't get past at the moment. Ben's also gaining still on the back of Tim Venting, but isn't close enough. Pushing. Matt Wright is on the back of Diz. Dan's pushing. How come, Phil?
He's got fastest lap.
There we go. Pushing or clean air. That's going to be the difference, I think, there. I think Dan with clean air is probably going to have that fastest lap in this race. Doesn't want to pit and maybe drop into traffic. Matt Wright, those on the back of Diz. That's for 19th and 18th. Down the order, Overtaker, because of that drive-through for being out of position at the start, is 22nd place. And he's on the back of Paolo Viana. But again, after that great Bathurst for Overtaker, this is not the start he'd have wanted.
That's out of position, but probably because of the gaps on the grid, and Gary's in.
Obviously the drop scores help, don't they, this evening. They come into play this week as Gary Leach into the pits. I assume Max Mulder's also going to dive in. He has, and we're going to see Dan Davis, because he's not going to get round again, and Dan Davis as well now comes into pit lane then. So this is the fight between Blackmore. He's got Wittrup on the back of him. He's still there with Giggle. We're also dropping back to Tim Venting, who's got Ben, Cosme and Machado all coming after him. So Tim Venting at the moment has got a gaggle of cars right behind him, Phil, and this is going to be crucial that he doesn't make an error to drop down places.
It is, yeah. He's got to keep it on the back of the arrow, and Strunky's going to get DQ'd because
he's done his stopping. Oh no, he didn't clear it.
He hasn't cleared it.
He didn't clear his stop go penalty. And Gary Leach is already out the pit lane. He leads this race and comes out. But look, O'Reilly's got through.
O'Reilly's through.
O'Reilly's got past him. Harris and Paolo have also jumped Mike Matthews. So where will Gary come out? Let's go to the helicopter cam. Where is Gary? He's lost out to Harris. Does he lose out to Paolo? No, he doesn't. But the race win for Gary gone. The undercut from O'Reilly and Harris works. Now the question is then, where does Dan Davis feed out? Right, side by side with Tim Venting as they come in towards turn 4, and Dan slots between Tim Venting and that of Ben. So good pace from Dan to go that little bit longer and work up some places, but he's down in 11th place.
Oh yeah, that's got a... Well, it's nature of the track, really, and good result for Harris.
Great result for Harris. He's got to be able to keep it there. Dan having a look up the inside of Tim. Can't think of making the move though. This is Giggle still gaining on the back now of Max Mulder, and Max Mulder having a great showing here so far.
Again?
Yeah, another one. Back up what he did at Bathurst last week. He's gaining on the back of Mike Matthews. Michael won a gain on Paolo. Paolo's within a second of Gary. Gary's going to want a gain on Harrison. O'Reilly really starting to take off at the moment, but Giggle, closest fight on circuit. We'll keep our eyes on the gaps behind. In fact, Dan's having a look at Tim. Up the inside, coming through to this right-hand kink. Dan gets the move done on Tim. Tim didn't fight that too hard. Dan's tried twice round the outside at that part of the circuit. It's not worked. He's gone to the inside this time, moves himself up into P10, and that is a disqualification for Skunky, down in 28th place for not completing his stop-go penalty.
Yeah, and meanwhile, just looking for another close battle. Overtaker is on the back of Vienna. So, is this going to happen?
Not close enough at the moment. I imagine Vienna's going to be pretty content with defending that one from Overtaker right now. There's been contact. I believe the two Aston Martins of Ben and Cosme have made contact. Machado didn't look like he was involved. I didn't see Dan involved either. But a bit of contact from the two Aston Martin drivers there. Now looking at Giggle once again. He's really close to the back of Max Mulder here, who is really close to the back of Mike Matthews. And Paolo's looking for a podium. He's going up the inside of Gary and towards the hairpin. Rapid in the Ginetta. Not quite there in the Porsche. Paolo all over the curb. Gary's going to try and hang it around the outside here. Max Mulder's looking for a move on the exit on Mike. Gary still up that inside line as he comes in towards the next hairpin corner. Paolo runs it a little deep. Gary up the inside. Mike's defending like mad. Paolo gets the switchback. That is absolute textbook on Gary Leach. Doesn't make it work though. And look at this train of cars on the helicopter camera. This is fantastic racing as we say good evening to Paul Williams.
What close racing from third on down. Just, you could cover these with a nice big blanket.
You really could, as Gary defending from Paolo with Mike Matthews, Max Mulder, Giggle who's looking to get a run on Max Mulder into the penultimate corner, has to tuck back in behind. Then it's Blackmore, Wittrup, Dan Davis is also there. They've all dropped Tim Ventic. This is all behind Gary Leach, who's very wide at the final corner. Car 42, Tim Ventic drive-through penalty for track limits. So he's been abusing them limits a little too much. Gary to the inside of turn one. No, Paolo's got him. Gary drifts wide, holds on to it for turn two. And how he does that with Mike Matthews so close, I do not know. But Paolo moves on to the podium.
Yeah, Paolo's on his first podium. That's his first podium, isn't it?
I can't remember if he got one back in the PS4 days. Max Mulder has got Giggle right behind him. Then there's Mike Matthews as well. And Dan Davis must be sat there and can't believe this battle he's having. He's got past Wittrup into ninth place. But what a fight this is, PN. This is absolutely fantastic.
It is, and Paolo's checking it out away from Gary.
Yeah, Gary's gone too long. Mike Matthews now on the back of him. This might be the last lap of the race.
Max
who's that?
With Giggle.
Max and Giggle's lost it, and who's going to carve his way through like a hot knife through butter? Dan Davis, who has got the roll of the dice now and makes the move. Wittrup defending there. Sorry, Wittrup attacking the back of Blackmore. Wide. And can't do anything about it. Gary was wide. Does that give Mike Matthews the run? No, not yet. And Dan Davis now will want to close the gap to his teammate and to what is SimPlay Racing's junior team now, a Team SPR.
Yeah, Jaeger Motorsport's in the
Oh, Gary has a bit of a twitch. Mike's looking up the inside. Gary's on the marbles and Mike through into P4. Gary's going to try and come back at him round the hairpin. Gary's very deep. Does that invite Dan Davis to play? It might do. Gary goes across the gravel. Gary will have that inside line for this corner. Dan comes across. Move done for Dan. Leader now starts the final lap. And Gary loses out to Max Mulder around the outside. And yes, he does now. And Gary's down into 7th place. It hasn't been the last lap for him. Can Dan catch his teammate? Will they hold stations? That's the biggest question. Down the order we go though. Cosme then on the back. Trying to hang on. Sky Schundelmeyer's now got a drive-through penalty. He may as well finish the race, Phil, because he just may as well get to the end. Daniel in the pits for 5 laps down. Patrick Lager 5 laps down as well. I don't know how many laps we've done. We're on lap 12, so 3/4 would be 15. So them two are going to score no points. That could be a qualifying ban for them next week.
Yeah. Because Daniel's back in the pits and he's 5 laps down. Who Darren's just made for enough laps.
Who Darren kept going since he pitted at the start of this race. That is absolutely fine from him.
Right.
And Riley at the minute. Sorry, go on.
Harris has closed a little bit on O'Reilly.
Yeah, yes, but it's too little too late, Phil, isn't it? It's the end of the race. And O'Reilly, well, Aston Martins People came out the Aston Martin this season, probably didn't think it was going to be strong enough. O'Reilly's rocked up, makes his first race of the season. He's going to become a third race winner this season, and that is a great way to open your campaign. Kieran O'Reilly then rounds the final corner, and it is going to be win number 1 of the season for Kieran O'Reilly. Yes, the reverse grid helped him out, but he's got to do the job. O'Reilly wins, Harris P2, great finish from him. Paolo as well. Great to see Paolo back. He's going to be on the podium, P3. Mike Matthews got overtaken by Dan at the very end. So Dan does his teammate Mike. Max Mulder in 6th, Wittrup 7th. From Gary Leach down in 8th at the very end of that. And then, oh my God, there's a gaggle of cars. And I don't think, in fact, there we go. Gary Leach, Machado is at 8th. Gary Leach, I believe, was in the air there. Machado 8th, Cosme 10th. That is Giggle in 11th. Darren Yeo was 12th. Blackmore 13th. Diz 14th. McGowan 15th. Matt Wright 16th. Then it will be Ben Vienna, overtaker 20th. Richard Beasley, Tim Venting a lap. Coming towards the end of his lap. He finished ahead of Eccles. What happened to Eccles in this race? Not sure. Clouden down in 24th. Hugh Darren 25th as well. But not sure what happened to Michael Eccles. Not the start of the season he would have wanted. And we just await now Hugh Darren, and we await that final classification fully because of Sky Schundelmeyer. But Phil, what a race this was. Good evening to Monkey Boy in the chat.
That was hectic, wasn't it, for the about 20 minutes? We'll be back later for an hour of it.
It's going to be absolutely carnage, I reckon, going through there. So Darren comes towards the line now to round out that top 25 drivers as Daniel and Patrick Lager finished a lap down. Skunky disqualified. But that is all we have time for race 1. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Stick around, go and grab a drink because we'll be right back after this break.
I think we are.
And we're clear. Right, I need to input these results. So Dan managed to sneak his way to 4th, Mike 5th, Machado 9th, Vienna 18th, Beasley 20th, Mulder 6th, Venting 21st, Wittrup 7th, Gary 8th, Daz 12th, Schundelmeyer down the order. 23rd, fucking hell. Ben where was Ben? Timetable.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Ben was 17th in the end. I don't know what happened to Ben when I clicked on him. He was down. Overtaker 19th. Well done, Overtaker. McGowan 15th. Clouden. Fucking Clouden, man. 24th. Diz 14th. Blackmore. He was up the order, wasn't he? He was Blackmore.
Yeah.
Or 13th, not too high up the order. Wright 16th. Eckholt was 22nd. Yeah.
Something like that, wasn't he? Well, I don't know what happened to Eckholt.
10th. Giggle 11th. And Hugh Darren 25th.
Right, race 1 retirements were Daniel Ells and
Daniel Ells and Patrick Lager.
Yeah, I'll do the ticket now, so
yeah,
it's ready to go.
Patrick, let me tell you.
Well, let me get into the ticket bit first.
Yeah, his one is the Milkman.
The Milkman.
So right, Milkman and Daniel Ells. I'm going to run to the toilet.
Pro. Of Ralston Patrick. I've done that ticket. I'll go for a piss while I'm waiting. Oh.
What a race, man. That was fucking fabulous. Edie!
Matthew! Matthew! Oh, jeez. What a race. Cool Tibbles.
That was fucking fantastic, that was. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Stop playing them, thank you. O'Reilly getting some practice laps in.
You don't need him. He does not need him.
He's probably still braking in his wheelbase though. Yeah, retirement ticket's done. So
Yeah, no, it's dude.
I've tagged him in it, so reasons.
Oh, that was Paolo's first podium in SimPlay.
Yeah, he just said. Dad in YouTube chat. Oh wow, that was interesting and fun.
Who should
I'll tell you what,
Dan.
Dad.
That's brilliant. That was hey, that is some fucking. This is why SimPlay is getting better and better, man.
Now you know why I took a step back, because it's allowed other better drivers in.
Oh.
Yeah, don't know what's happening on the 31st, because Dad's got to go to the hospital to have a CT scan.
Of what, this month?
This month, yeah.
What time's your CT scan?
4:15. Yeah, down in Cambridge. So I'll see what's happening, see how he's getting there, because Mum don't like driving in the dark on her own.
Fair enough. 35 people it's hit up to. Good.
Good. Recording the next video.
Nice.
To publish tomorrow, or maybe at the weekend. Toby Ding Ding. It's Toby Ding Ding. Pulling Annie and Clarabelle, I need to get Henrietta.
Fuck it, I'm knackered.
Not the only one.
Poof, honestly.
I reckon Taker's rattled.
I reckon Taker's rattled, I reckon Cloudman's rattled. He just looked dog turd. Didn't
Yeah.
he? He's not looked good in that Mercedes. at all.
He should either went with the Aston.
He should have just stayed McLaren. He nearly won the championship in that fucking McLaren.
Yeah.
There's not many of them this year. Fuck it, even if there was loads of them, he should have stayed in it for himself.
Yeah, it's just stuck with what
He should
he knew.
not have fucking came out in it. No Ferrari, the highest Ferrari was 6, so what's that done for the manufacturers? Ginetta still leads by 45 points from Merck. Come on, boys! And there is less Ginettas than there is Mercs, than there is BMs, than there is Ferraris. Similar Aston, similar Porsche truck.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Quality's good.
5, 4. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport here for the next stage of the season. It is qualifying time here at Misano, and what a time to be around the SimPlay paddock. Max Mulder will be the first car out on track, so we will jump on board him for a lap. And while we do so, Phil, what an absolutely fantastic first race.
Yeah, well, I'm still knackered from watching it. I'm absolutely shattered, broken, done.
It was absolutely terrific. The championship standings obviously are all provisional tonight before the drop rounds take place. Dan Davis leads away 16 points clear from Max Mulder, with Overtaker dropping down into third. Diz is up into fourth, tied on points with Sebastian Wittrup. Paolo moving into sixth ahead of Mike Matthews in seventh. Ben is P8, only a point behind Mike. Richard Beasley is ninth on 68 points. Tim Bentink is 10 on 67, with Machado 11th on 62. Darren Yeo is 12th on 61, with Jamal Clouden 13th. Really not seeing the best from Jamal just yet. O'Reilly has moved up to 14th place with that race win, with Harris in P15 on 50 points. Sky Schundelmeyer is P16 on 49. Matt Wright on 17, Paolo Viana on 18 points. Daniel is in P19, with Blackmore in P20, just ahead of Max for crashing, with Gary Leach 22nd. Skunky 23rd. Cosme 24th from Giggle, McGowan, Eccleston, Hugh Darren. Leisure there didn't get off the mark in that first race then. And we believe we've seen in the chat that that was Paolo's first podium, and Paolo's been with us for a little time now, hasn't he, as Paolo? So great to see him get that first podium for him. Also now the Aston Martin only need 6 podiums, as they got one today. That is a fantastic mark for the Aston Martin, puts them on 44. That's the Lexus's 13th as well, after Dan's 2 last week. No other milestones really to be met. We had the Ginetta's 50th podium on Monday. We had Sam get to his 50th race start last night in race 1. Apart from that, drivers getting closer, but not yet close enough to anything else at the moment. As I say that, Dan is only 4 appearances away, so 1 tonight, 2 next week, so I think it'll be Laguna Seca for race 1 will be Dan's 300th race start. That is the next real closest milestone at the moment for those drivers that are out there on the track. It's qualifying time though, Phil, and another chance for these drivers to just show us what pace they've got as we're on board with Max Mulder.
Yeah, Max has got a nice clear road. He's got Beasley's close behind him, followed by Dan, so but yeah, Max has got some great track position there.
Track position can be key as well with such cars on the grid. It's going to be about that track position. Obviously, 2 drivers cannot qualify. That is Blackmore and McGowan, so they will be stationary in the pits. But we saw last night with Kieran Argent, didn't we, Phil, that he couldn't get a lap in qualifying.
No, because, well, round here track limits are stricter than strict. Their F1 style is strict. As Max finishes his flying lap, let's see what time he puts in. That's a 35.2.
That's respectable. I think that's just a good banker lap as Beasley puts one on the board and goes a little bit slower than that. I've pressed on the wrong Lexus. So
and Dan's gone quicker.
Probably already done his lap time yet with a 34. Car 120 is coming to line now. That is Giggle then, who is at the line at the moment. We'll then go to car 75 of Diz as Giggle moves up into P2, just off the back of Dan Davis as well. But drivers just getting their tyres in that window, aren't they, Phil? It's obviously not the warmest today. Track temp is 26 degrees, but with this being in the evening, it is going to cool that little bit more. It's not as hot as like we saw at Bathurst, and not as hot as probably what we're going to see at like Kota in the next couple of weeks.
Or Kyle Army next week as a Southern Hemisphere.
Kyle Army at the minute actually is quite cool because it's the night race. I looked yesterday. The day temperature is 40 degrees. At night, it's dropping to 18, so that could be a pretty cool one as well.
That would bubble up rain. Normally, temperature change up drastic of 22 degrees. You're going to get rain there.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on it. Jamal Clouden, only 11th fastest. It's a banker in, but not a great one for him. Gary Leach coming towards the line now. Obviously, a bit disappointed Gary Leach might be after his race one end of the race. He comes across the line and doesn't actually set a lap time, and we go back to car 95. That is Max Mulder, who's already going to complete another lap. Looks like Beasley's on an invalid one, so Dan just in front will be wanting to, Dan just behind will be wanting to set the pace alight now as Max Mulder to the line, puts himself up into P2. Good lap time that from Max Mulder. Cosme as the quickest driver. Here comes Dan Davis to the line. Any improvement from Dan? Puts himself on pole by 0.2 of a second. Car 123 of Emmanuel Machado will stay on board with him as he comes round to the final couple of corners as drivers start to put the lap times in. Phil, who's your tip for pole really in this one?
Maybe O'Reilly, maybe Dan. As Max has aborted and returned to pits, so he's got plenty of time. It's hard to say, because can anyone dip down into the magical low 33s?
Well, this is going to be the question. We're currently watching Overtaker at the moment. There's still a lot of drivers to put lap times on the board. Only in this 10-minute qualifying session. It's very easy to get it wrong. Through the final, in the 15-minute qualifying session here. Here comes Overtaker to the line. And goes and puts it P3 at the moment. Good lap time from Overtaker.
Yep, good lap time by Taker. He's got to recover some points, or this round to be his drop score.
Clouden to the line, only 14th. Viana to the line. He goes and improves up to P4. So good lap from Viana, that one. What about Gary Leach, who's currently not got a lap time on the board at this moment in the race, in the qualifying session? Can he get a lap time on the board? Now he does, and goes only P18, 1.4 off the pace. Paolo still didn't get a lap time on the board. This time it's Richard Beasley who's on a valid lap, and Danny who says he's on an invalid one.
Yeah, let's see what Beasley can do. Where is he on time sheet? I'm blind as anything.
It's 21st at the minute. Is Richard Beasley to the line, and he pumps himself right up into P8. Good lap.
Yeah, he's up there, and he got a lot of pace in that Lexus with its minus 32 kilos on the bolt here at Mazzano.
Here comes Ben. No lap time on the board for Ben there, unless he's put a slow banker in down the bottom. Michael Eckholt currently 6th fastest. That probably wasn't the welcome Eckholt was hoping for there.
Yep.
And he comes round the final corner, 4/10 off the back of Dan Davis's pole time at the moment. Dan's the only man to take pole in Pro so far this season. Eckholt to the line doesn't improve, as somebody did there. Cosme's up into P2. What's he going to do? Is he come to the line? Leisure goes up into P4. Drop down to the 35. That then is Darren Yeo, but I can't quite find him. There he is. So he rounds the final corner. A couple of cars in front. They move up and down the order as well. Harris has now gone quickest. Darren Yeo stays down in 16th place. What about the 46? And that is Vienna. Got a car just in front of him. Not sure who that is, but Vienna stays P6. The 81 is now rounding the final couple of corners. That is Paolo. Can he get that lap time on the board?
See, don't want to run too wide in that final curve and ruin what you've probably heard. Yeah, BVN 6. Paolo went 21st.
Richard Beasley on another flyer here. Dan Davis on an invalid lap time. Skunky's the car behind Dan Davis, who's next on a valid lap time. And that's Richard Beasley up into P3. Dan's improved to go within 0.5 of Michael Harris. Skunky to the line. He now goes top of the timing sheets by 1/10 of a second. This is getting close and interesting here.
It is, yeah. As I believe Taker's just come out of the pits behind Dan.
Yeah, Vienna, Darren and someone else all out there, all in the pit lane. As here comes Machado up to P12. The 112. That then is Michael Eckholt once again. What will he be able to do? Can he find any improvement on this lap so far? Goes to the line, stays P11. Let's drop down to the what is 140? That's Ben. He's a bit further down the order.
Ledger's just on P2. So now it's a Ferrari 1-2.
Yeah, it's Alasia now going into P2. Michael Harris is coming to the line. Can he find any improvement? Dan now finds himself on the second row. Michael Harris improves but doesn't go top of the timing screens. What about Jamal Clouden in that Mercedes? Seems to be struggling in it at the moment. He's just over a second and stays just over a second. Car 81, the next car that we're seeing on a valid lap.
Should be Paolo? Yeah, it's Paolo. As he rounds the final corner. Puts all the horses in that McLaren 720S.
The Richie Michelle's Rob Smith was a lot faster, but that's because that's their home circuit and they had really put some hours into this. They're not normally as quick as that. Dan Davis on a valid lap coming round the final corner here.
Yeah.
Can he find that 10th and a half? He
does.
can. He finds a lot more PN.
Yeah, it is. He goes P1. Right, and Taker's on track behind them, I believe. Yeah,
Which stays in 15th. 75 is next. That is Diz, currently 2.1 off the pole time at the moment. Daniel and Ben yet to put a valid lap time on the board, by the way.
Yeah, Daniel now crossing the line now. Any lap time? No.
Here comes Leisure. No improvement for him there. The 927 is also coming to the line. We're going to go to the 34 of Michael Harris. Needs just under half a second here to improve.
Just went to P2.
There we go. So Cosme's moved up to P2. Here comes Harris. No improvement there. Darren Yeo is next to the line, but can't see his number. He's currently down in 12th place. Clouden moves up to 14th. Still just over a second behind. The 120 is next. Trying to find all these numbers. Here is Giggle. Towards the line. He comes 1.1 off the pace. Does he go back above Clouden? No, he does not. We're then going to turn our attention to the 140 of Ben. Yet to get a lap time on the board, Phil.
Yeah. Where is he?
26th.
26th. Here we come round the final corner. Does he get a lap time in? I mean, anything will get him above Daniel.
He does. He goes P10. Yeah, great lap time in the end to put in P10. Richard Beasley to the line, 6/10 off the back. Next car is car 33. That then is Wittrup, who is on another lap before the 75. Not sure who the 75 is. We'll wait till Wittrup comes to the line. The 75 is Diz. Wittrup to the line, moves up to P15. Diz next to the line before the 98 then of Daniel, who's still on a valid lap currently, into that final 3 minutes of qualifying. And this qualifying's as tight as the race was.
Yeah, it's really, really close. And Diz does not improve.
No, stays 24th. Daniel to the line, gets a time on the board, so he can be pleased now. Next car on a valid is that of the 720. And that is... I don't know if I'm being blind here. Sorry, it's the 120. There is no 720.
It's the 120.
It's the 120.
We'll all be blind.
That is Giggle, who will be the next to do a valid lap time. And PN, a second, just over a second, covers the top 16. This is tight.
It is really tight. It's closer than touring cars, actually. BTCCs are this close, unless you're one of the Infinity drivers. Not Infinity.
As Giggle goes 15th, just behind Darren Yeo, waiting for car 140 now.
That's
I
Ben.
can't quite see. That is Ben. He's up into 10th. He's down into 11th, sorry, so he's lost a place. Can he find an improvement on this lap? Here comes Ben towards the line. Does he improve? He does, but stays P11. What about that then of Richard Beasley to come towards the line? What can he do? Where is Mike Matthews, actually? I've not seen his name on the board. Richard Beasley stays 7th. Dan Davis, what can Dan do in this session? Does he improve? No, he does not. We're then looking at the 135. That then is the car of Matt Wright, who's only 6/10 off the pole.
Only. Sometimes that could have been second.
Exactly. Goes up to P6, 5/10 off the back. Car 98 is coming next to the line. That then is Daniel to the line. Does he improve on his times? He does. Moves up to 22nd place. Then it's the 998. That then is going to be Patrick Lager, 4/10 off the back of Dan now. Next car on a lap is the 33. It says it's invalid, but we'll stick with it. It is out of Wittrup. Would love to give this track a go the wrong way around, like it used to be. Interesting to see what it races like. Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
Turn DQs off and we can do it.
Wittrup here then. rounding the final corner. Is he on a valid lap? The 1, 2, 3 is. These guys are all going to get one more run in. And the 1, 2, 3 is that of Machado, who's got the slipstream of Giggle just in front. Here comes Machado to the line. Doesn't find an improvement. Next one on a valid lap, Richard Beasley. Dan's apparently on an invalid one.
Beasley P8 at the moment.
Great grid. Great tight grid. A second covers the top 20.
Yeah. That looked wide. That might have been invalid because he was on.
Yeah, he's backed out of it. He's backed out of it.
Dan's backed out as well.
Yeah, Dan's also bailed. Here comes the 24. That's going to be Sky Schundelmeyer down in 26th place. What is his lap time going to be? It puts him up to 24th. Where's the 135? Obviously, Sky Schundelmeyer may have lost himself some seat time this week. Here comes Matt Wright, who might be the last driver to get a lap time on the board and get another one in. Stays P6. Car 46 is next. That then is Vienna, who finishes in P12, the 998. Who's the 74?
74 is O'Reilly.
Where is O'Reilly? He's there.
P14 at the
Crosses
moment.
the line. No improvement for him. 33 of Wittrup. Not sure if this is invalidated or not. Diz is done down in 26th. That one is a given because he's in the pits.
Such a tight field. 2 seconds.
Incredibly
Less than
tight.
2 seconds.
Incredibly tight.
Wittrup's
bailed. Is Gary Leach bailed? Yeah, Gary Leach is also bailed. Next car on the lap.
The
130 is the 120. That is Giggle. Here he comes. Towards the line. Who's he got on the back of him? Giggle. No improvement. Didn't see any improvements up and down the screen. It's the 202 next. Or is it the 302? Sorry, it's the 302 of Skunky. Can Skunky take this pole position away from Dan Davis? Needs 0.4 of a second. Improves, but not enough. Next is the 927 of Cosme. He span. Then it is going to be McGowan. I can't even see McGowan's number.
It's not McGowan.
It's not McGowan. Apologies. We'll stick with Overtaker. 42. Who was 42? That is Tim Wenting. He was 21st. Overtaker now then 7/10 off the back of Dan Davis in P10.
As he rounds the final corner.
Little wiggle there for Taker. Comes towards the line. Crosses it for P6 in the end, so he gains 4 places. But it's Dan Davis, Phil. 3 pole positions in a row.
Yep.
The extra point in the bag, but it's not about the extra point, is it, when it comes to the end of the season?
No, it's about where you get the... Yeah, as we now heading towards an hour. It'll be 25 minutes to the pit window opens. This is going to be highly interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be entertaining as anything. We're just inputting the data now on the spreadsheet for the qualifying. Sebastian Wittrup, good race pace, but down in 19th in the qualifying. Work to do from there. Where did Daniel qualify? He's down in 22nd. Gary Leach down in 25th. Not the qualifying pace for him. Darren Yeo, 15th place. Sky Schundelmeyer, as we know, down in 24th. Ben is up in 11th. Not a bad session from him. O'Reilly is in 14th after that race win. Paolo, where's Paolo? He's 18th place, so just down the order a little bit. Overtaker, we know, went up to P6 at the end. Skunky is on that second row in P3. We know McGowan's down the order. The Mercedes-Benz of Jamal Clouden, 20th place in this qualifying session. Matt Wright in 7th place. Eckholt only 9th. Great little... hopefully he's going to try and find his feet again. Obviously he was rapid last season. Legia is P4. Good stuff from him. Cosme second place alongside Dan. Aston Martin and Lexus on the front row. Who'd have thought that a few seasons ago? Giggle is down in... Where is Giggle?
22nd.
He is down in 16th place before Darren, who is 23rd ahead of Sky Schundelmeyer. So extra point for Dan Davis puts him another step closer to that 100th pole position. He's on 84 now. Sorry, he's on 60 now, apologies. In terms of his pole positions. And in terms of Lexus, that is Lexus's...
Oh, Max Molden missed the start.
And Tim Ventink.
Both BSP Esports drivers have missed the start. Or BSP Racing, both of their cars, made the start.
Well, you've got to be in it to win it. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
They are not in it. They are not in it to win it at the moment.
No, but we might miss all the carnage.
Well, this is true, but still, Max Mulder's just given up a great position on the grid.
Yeah. Tim, not so much, being down in 21st. He's deep in the danger zone, wasn't he?
He is indeed. He is indeed, but hey.
It is what it is.
Exactly, that is what it is, and this is the problem. Now, when you're down this low in the order, you know, you've got to take what comes your way.
But what a tight pro field we've got this season.
Oh yeah, massively so. Massively so. And brilliant, really, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant to see such a tight pro field.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Right then, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button as well if you like what you see here, and hit that bell to be notified when we are live. Back live on Tuesday evening with Dan Davis live for the GT4 action at Kyle Army before me and Dan back on Pro-Am night on Wednesday.
Overtake us in the pits.
Not sure why. Interesting.
I think that might have been a teleport.
Maybe there needed to be a ticket raised. We'll have to investigate into that one. Join us live on next Wednesday for me and Dan for the Pro-Ams, and join myself and Phil Rader back live next Thursday night for the Pros, as well as check out our fantastic sponsors in the description below. Design Manchester, producers of all vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay merchandise. And head to Audiosport, manufacturer of VW Transporter, T4 Audio Solutions and styling products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk. Links are all in the description there. We're ready. Are you ready? That's the question.
Are you ready? We're not D-Generation X in WWE. Well, back then it was WWF. Yeah, as we come around to final few corners here at Mazzano, which is now the home of the San Marino Grand Prix, even though it's closer to Imola than it is San Marino. Yeah. But San Marino's a little tiny principality anyway.
It's half an hour away from San Marino. I found out last night when looking when me and Dan was live on air. But either way,
it's a little principality. It's like Monaco is to France.
It is. Right then, Dan Davis leads the way from Tommaso Cosmi. There's a couple of gaps on the grid where drivers have missed the start. It's a great start from Danny, equal though by Cosmi, who will try and look to go around the outside of turn one. Will he hold it there? No, he won't. Dan gets the job done. Contact between Skunky and Leisure in turn two. That's Eckel in the wall. Huge impact for Eckel early on. But a good start from Dan and Cosmi. They've got themselves away, and there's a great battle here. Harris coming under pressure from Matt Wright, who's looking up the inside in towards turn four. And he manages to get alongside and up the inside and gone. Overtaker starts the race now. And that is fantastic there. As we're looking at Leisure then, coming under pressure from that of Skunky. He's going to try and go round the outside. Will he try and tuck it back up the inside? He does. An absolute peach. Gets a great run out the corner. Is Skunky ahead before the next part? No, he's not. Skunky came across on Leisure there. And Leisure gave him a tap up the rear. Matt Wright still trying to get past, but there is Ben and Richard Beasley going tooth and nail with it as well. There's Machado. Oh no, he's at Vienna. Vienna's just tapped the back of Ben, and he's ended up off onto the gravel. An all pretty line astern, apart from when we go down to Sebastian Wittrup, who's looking on the back now of that of Paolo. He's got Jamal Clouden with him as well, and a bit of a wiggle from Wittrup. Clouden avoids the back of him.
Reflexes of a catch there by Clouden.
That's going to allow Gary Leacho up the inside, and that's cost Clouden an extra spot there. And now he might lose out to that of Machado. Can't do so as they all congest up. And who's that in the background? I believe that's Schundelmeyer looking around the outside, then going into this first part of the lap. Up the inside now of who Darren has to back out of that one.
Yeah, as I've moved, I've done the second option on the F3 button, so that's the second set of cameras.
So Dan Davis leads from Cosmi. That's already a good gap. Leisure trying to stay on Skunky with with Harris trying to stick with him. Then it's Matt Wright, Richard Beasley, Ben from O'Reilly, from Giggle, from Yo coming under pressure from Mike Matthews. Then it's Paolo Wittrup, Gary Leach, who's got Jamal Clouden looking up the inside of him. And Gary Leach, does he defend off that one? Through the first right-hander, through the second right-hander. Clouden Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. And Machado's just behind them, and he gets a great run on Gary Leach now. Has a bit of a moment, does Gary Leach on the curb, and Machado's going to sail through. And that's a great move from the BMW. Gary Leach just losing out a few places. But look at the fight behind involving Diz, Darren and Schundelmeyer.
Diz got about 3 cars in one go, didn't he? With that pass.
Diz is absolutely flying at the moment. He is absolutely trying to charge you. Darren lunges up the inside on the grass. Manages to avoid everybody as he misses, well, I say misses the brakes, just didn't stop on the grass there. That's now going to allow that of Diz through, and then that of McGowan through as, no, not McGowan, sorry. I can't remember who it is. It's Daniel in the Dan Seb racing car through as well. Back forward though to Giggle on the back of O'Reilly, who's on the back of Ben. Matt Wright still there with Harris. And where's Darren Yeo and Mike Matthews at the minute? They was also close. They are still line of stern, and as they are at the moment, Phil, already this race is proving to be a cracking one.
I believe that was Darren.
Yeah, the 993. You're right.
You better be careful there, cutting that much off. He might have got DQ.
Yeah, that's the problem we had last night with Monkey Boy and Tech Leader getting disqualified there. You have to say, Phil, great start to the race like it ended.
Yeah, it's just so close. Where you're going to find time and everything like that. It's got to be fantastic.
So Tim Bentinck and Max Mulder got out before that of Overtaker. So he is dead last and a few seconds off the back. That's his race ruined.
Yeah, it is. Skunky coming even faster slap off his race for the Ferrari.
It is a little wide there. This could allow Wittrup to have a look up the inside. This is on board Wittrup. You just see Diz as black. BMW getting a little close. It's Gary Leach just in front. Gary, good start from him. 25th to 17th. That's not bad.
Tell you what, O'Reilly's fighting up quite nicely. He's up to P9.
Yeah.
You can see the back of Ben.
He was on the back of Ben a moment ago. Yeah, he's dropped off a little bit.
I think he had to defend a bit from Kegel.
Well, Ben is right up the rear wing of that Lexus. The problem is the Lexus on this back straight is flying.
You can't get close enough to play you on.
No.
It's straight line speed. It's like it's got nitrous.
And that's where Kyle Army might struggle just a little bit because of the fact that, you know, the only straight really is the start straight.
Yeah. And it's got the curb of doom.
Let's see how he handles the cheater. As here comes Ben, just looking back to Mike Matthews again. 3/10 off the back of Darren, but just as we went on board there, Mike Matthews was actually just on that grass a little bit. This is on board with Mike. Getting really close to the back of Darren Yeo there, obviously. Both now in the same stable of SimPlay Racing.
Yeah, the lead's closed right up.
Yeah, that's down to 4/10. That is close, and he's brought Skunky with him.
Yeah, and Ledger's not far away, and Harris is about 2 seconds off with Wright for close company.
Again, though,
he's got his mirrors full.
What we look at, though, Phil, is that strategy. What is that strategy?
Are you changing tyres or are you not?
Well, what fuel are you running as well?
Yeah, how much fuel? Are you running 100 litres and just putting a litre in, or however many litres you need around here at Mazzano?
So that's going to be the interesting thing to see then as we come through this opening lap of the race. It's been a great start for Dan Davis, going back to O'Reilly, as Ben still trying to get onto the back of Richard Beasley, but Alexis at this part of the track is just super strong.
Yeah, it's all that straight line speed it has.
Now, for some reason, my track map showing Cosme as the triangle. It's gone back to Dan now. I'm not sure why it was showing Cosme as the race leader for a moment there. Jamal Cloudon's looking on the back of Wittrup. This is for 15th and 14th place. Cloudon, great move up the inside. Lovely that from Jamal. That's going to try and open the door for Machado, and through goes Machado. Oh, big wiggle on exit though. That's going to hurt him down the straight. Is that going to bring Wittrup back into play here? You bet your bottom dollar it is. And Wittrup's going to take that back up the inside. Can, though, Machado hold it strong around the outside for turn 2? He can, you know. Up the inside for 2. Gary Leach is there. Wittrup still side by side with him. And I think Wittrup has that move done now. Does Gary? Gary's coming up the inside of the pair of them. That is a real thank you, mama, for the carrots. Gary Leach, he's gone Tesco's. That's a 2-for-1 special.
That's a proper meal deal, wasn't it? Oh, we're back to food again, that.
There's Witchup in the
It's
background.
not over. It's not over.
It's not over. 3 BMWs and a Ferrari. Witchup and Machado is banging doors. There's also a Porsche there as Diz is looking up the inside. Machado goes one way. Diz has gone deep. Machado goes through the middle as well. There's no 2-for-1 specials here. Daniel goes wide. Diz is spinning around. And look at Tibbs. Tibbs. Gary had a 2-for-1. Tibbs has got a 4-for-1.
I think Tibbs had a buy one get one free.
He had a buy two, get two free because even though he's lost back out now to the 2 BMWs, he might also lose out to the back then of McGowan and of Daniel. Look at this fighting at the moment. This is absolutely incredible here at Misano in this 4th race of the championship. It is a great night of pro. Witchup back up the inside of Machado, chops the nose off slightly, and then he runs a little wide, and then we drop back. We've got Daniel in there, there's Tibbs in there. Tibbs a little wide is Schundelmeyer. Here comes an Ian McGowan from the back of the grid. He moves up another place into 19th, and now we've got Edward Blackmore there as well.
This is great racing. Great racing. Diz looked like he missed his braking points on the...
Yeah, massive. Massively so. This is what it is all about. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I've just got my eye on the battle for the lead still. It's still 6 tenths. And Skunky's within a second. Just over a second.
That's half a second there at the moment. O'Reilly's half a second off the back of Ben, who's half a second off the back of Bees, who's got Giggle half a second off the back of him. But look at this, down to Ian McGowan now as M3 have pulled away. Machado's just started to gap Witchup a little bit. Overtaker, by the way, still 5 seconds off the back of Max Mulder, so...
And because this lot were battling, Gary's 3 seconds up the road now.
Gary's charging, and we know Gary seems better in a race 2 format. And we always get that feeling from Gary as now, look, McGowan's having a look on the back of Daniel. This is to the outside of the hairpin. McGowan tries to cut underneath. That is absolutely pitch perfect. Has he got the run out the corner that he needs, though? I believe he's bumper to bumper. No, he's not. He tucks back in. And that was nearly pitch perfect there for McGowan.
Trouble when you're trying to overtake a car identical to your own. It's down to your driving style or setup. But in the base game, they are exactly the same.
Yeah, that is it. That is exactly right. And you have to say here, this is absolutely fantastic racing here at Misano. We're going to need to catch our breaths in a moment. We thought GT4s was good. We thought last night was good as well. This is just even better.
You can hear the roar of that Porsche, can't you?
You can. You can. Back down to Dan Davison in the lead of this race at the moment. 1.1 clear of Cosme, who's got Skunky right with him now. Skunky is right on him. And this is going to be interesting coming down the first straight, Phil.
It is, yeah, because what's the Aston straight line speed compared with the 296? I love both these guys.
Well, that's it. Down the straight they come now. Is he going to look to the inside? Cosme defends very, very well. On the brakes goes Skunky. Tries to tuck underneath, and Cosme's just doing a great job. And this is now going to help Dan Davis out.
Yeah, because now Cosme's mirrors are full of Ferrari. Yeah, it's going to allow Dan a little bit of breathing space, but I reckon once Skunky's passed, he'll eat him alive.
Going to be interesting to see what happens as Overtaker's at the back of the grid. Oh, got very close to the back of Cosme there. Nearly runs into the back of him. Let's drop down to O'Reilly. Ben still trailing behind Richard Beasley. O'Reilly has still got Giggle there as well. Mike Matthews still behind Darren Yo. In fact, no, he's not. Where's Darren Yo? There's Darren. Jamal Cloudon's got ahead of Mike Matthews now. So Jamal Cloudon maybe he's found something in this second race, you know.
Maybe, yeah. Dialed in a bit more setup in, and maybe the car just didn't like the 20-minute race being lighter on fuel.
Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So back down to this great battle now. Look, Wittrup's in it again. We're going to go back to the helicopter camera as that is now. Where is Sky Schundelmeyer? That is Darren, who's having a look on Schundelmeyer, and McGowan's going to have a look at the inside of Wittrup. Can't get it done. Schundelmeyer late on the brakes. Manages to get it stopped and win into the back of that of Daniel, who Darren's out the inside. Little greedy on the curb. That's going to invite Blackmore, and Tibbs just taps the front of Darren, and into the side of the wall goes Darren. That'll cause the yellow flag here.
If only there was an option of having in-game safety car. That'd be funny.
Michael Harris now, look on the back of Leisure and Skunky. So whatever's happened to Skunky, he's dropped a second to Cosme. And now he's got Leisure and Harris on the back of him. Sorry, Phil, what's on?
No, maybe the Ferrari's gone for a phase, perhaps, with tyres.
Something's happened to Ben as well. He's dropped behind O'Reilly and Giggle, and now O'Reilly's on the back of Richard Beasley at the minute.
Harris's alongside. And he's got Ledger. Cool, what a pass by Harris.
Yeah, good move. We know the Lexus strong down the back straight. You just see there that O'Reilly's lost out to Richard Beasley a bit as well. Back down to Paolo's on the back of Gary Leach. That was the pass for the podium in race 1.
Yeah, and how is Diz recovering from his a day $8 short on the brakes, trying to overtake both?
Well, he's 24th at the moment, a second and a half ahead of Darren, and 8 seconds off the back of Vienna. And Gary's got to be careful because he's got Paolo coming, he's got Machado with him as well.
Yeah, and Overtaker's still not making inroads on Max Mulder.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
And they're not really making inroads on the field, apart from the ones that have been off the road and to the Shadow Realm.
Overtaker's very slow through that last sector, I've just noticed. As well.
Is he having pad issues?
Unsure.
No, because Skunky's dropped off the back, Cosby's slowly winding him down again.
This is Vienna on the back of Eckholt, who's nearly on this train of Wittrup, McGowan, Daniel, Sky Schundelmeyer and Blackmore. Oh, what a train this has been. McGowan right in the thick of this fight here.
Yeah. From starting at the back, he's fought up pretty well. He's got Wittrup right in front. He's got past Daniel, so he's in the Dan Seb Racing sandwich. Who paid up for that?
Here comes McGowan then into the next left-hand kink. Ferrari over BMW. Just see him gain there a little bit under that braking for that little right-hand kink. Now looking up the inside as Wittrup went right. Doors left open and through goes McGowan. Does he have it done though? Fully, I don't think he does, because Wittrup back up the inside. That could give Daniel a run in towards the final corner. It doesn't though.
Not quite, but it's good close hard racing.
Yeah,
so
it is. Now McGowan's coming back on that of Wittrup down the start straight. He's going to have that inside line in towards turn 1. Here he comes. Through he goes. Can Wittrup keep it there for turn 2? Just about. But McGowan gets it done now. Now Daniel's looking on his teammate. That was Paolo we just saw off there a moment ago as well. Now here comes Daniel on his teammate Wittrup. Blackmore's having a look on that on Schundelmeyer as well in the background. Wittrup trying to come back on McGowan. Oh, he's nearly turned in on his teammate.
But they nearly did Webber Vettel and Red Bull back in 2010.
Daniel all over the curbs. That's going to hurt him down this straight onto the helicopter cam. Look at Sky Schundelmeyer. Thread the needle, is he? No, he's going to try and go to the inside of Wittrup. Oh, there's a couple of manoeuvres there from Wittrup, that looked to be. And now look who's come to play. It's Eckholt and Vienna.
Eckholt, Vienna, Ed's there as well. Blackmore.
So Schundelmeyer has managed to get past out of Daniel. Blackmore just taps out of Eckholt. Just runs him a little wide. Where's that Gary Leach fight then?
Well, Paolo's gone off the back of Gary.
Where is Gary? Gary's got Machado with him. Clouden has got past Darren Yeo now. That was pretty close, and now Clouden's got through on Darren Yeo. Is Clouden lighter?
It could be, yeah. He could be running lighter and put more fuel in and lose. But you lose so much time in this pit lane.
36 seconds for a tyre change. So, and I think it's only 6-7 seconds lighter if you're only topping up maximum fuel. I know you're not going to be topping up maximum fuel, but yeah, if you're changing tyres, it's about a 27 lap swing on that tyre change. Let's go back down to the big fight. There is Schundelmeyer, Daniel, Blackmore. Then it is Vienna and Eckholt. Paolo's dropped off here. No who Darren either. Tim and Max and Overtaker just not doing anything in this race. Them three at the back. Here comes Blackmore though. Looking up the inside then. Oh, that of Daniel gets through. Great move from the McLaren driver.
Great move by Ed.
What a night. Driver of the day is going to be so hard.
It is because, Well, it's a shame about Paro's race 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
But he would have been
Hey,
one of them for race of the day.
Still a long way to go. Blackmore went a little deep. That's going to allow Daniel to come back at him in this race. We move further forward once again to Ben, who's gaining on the back of Giggle, who's right up the trumpet of that of O'Reilly. There are battles each way you look. O'Reilly's deep, and here comes Giggle to try and get on O'Reilly. He'll be on the outside line for the penultimate corner. O'Reilly has a big slam on the brakes. Ben's now going to try and get the run around the outside. Just drops the wheel into the gravel. Dan, by the way, gaps down to 3/10. So Cosme's really come back at him, Phil.
Yeah, now Cosme's not defended from Skunky. So, I tell you, I don't think Dan's going to have a very easy season this season, until December.
Yeah, I agree. Dan's doing what he needs to do, though. He knows that the drop scores have come into play this week. He's a smart driver. Cosme's obviously new, so his drop score won't come into play till next week. So Dan's a smart driver. Dan will know what to do here. But Ben now on the back of O'Reilly. Race 1 winner versus Ben at the moment. And Ben's now looking to the outside. Couple of podiums for Ben last season. Just couldn't find that step up to the top step.
No.
But had a great end to the season, didn't he? Did Ben? As did O'Reilly, to be fair, in that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, but O'Reilly's gone to something with more development in the real world with the Aston Martin, even though they're now on their Evo version, aren't they? Which really might get in the game before long. It's already in the PC for the 2024 cars deliveries.
I don't think it's on the PC version of the game, no.
No,
I don't think the Evo is.
come.
I don't think the Evo is. I'll have to double check, but I'm sure it was just liveries that came on that next version. Ben still looking close to the back of O'Reilly. Gap out front now is 0.6 of a second. That's Dan, I think, through that long straight at the back. Looking back to Daniel, though. Look at this. Daniel on the back of Blackmore. Machado with him. Eckholt just not sticking with them at the moment.
Eckholt's got quite a little bit of damage to his car, though, if you look at it.
Yeah, he has. He was in the wall, wasn't he, on lap 1?
So, yeah, that's hurting him. Now, I reckon that this phase of the race. He's waiting for the next 5 minutes for that pit window.
Oh, Daniel's off! Daniel's off. Vienna's not through. Did Vienna give him a tap? He's flashing his lights, and Eckholt's going to get past. Paolo's now there. Tracy says, come on, Sky, go BSP. Well, the BSP esports drivers not really doing anything at the moment. They are gaining on the back of Darren. The BSP racing drivers, well, Sky Schundelmeyer's down in 18th, and Ben's up there in that top 10 spot. But this has been the fight of the day so far, Phil, hasn't it? Back here.
Yeah, Casual Eye still on the fight for the lead, but Skunky hasn't dropped Harris, and Ledger's with him as well, and so is Matt Wright. And then there's a 2-second gap to Beasley, and then there's Giggle. And then the other two Astons, and what do you do when the car in front of you is pretty much the same as yours?
Well, this is two cars that aren't the same. It's Machado on the back of Gary Leach at the moment. Pretty much pushing him through this section of the circuit there.
Who's braver on the turn in for the brakes for this?
Well, Gary had the GT4 night of testing, didn't he, to manage to sort of like know his lines and things. Obviously, GT4's a lot different cars compared to these GT3s, but that's going to help Gary in some way.
Yeah, because he's simple circuit. Okay, the conditions in the GT4s was very different. It was wet, dry, moist, damp, slippy in places. But when it dried out, that really hurt ballast of cars, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was Machado looking each way. I don't think it was Machado looking each way. I think it was Gary just a bit loose through the first section of corners. And Machado just patiently waiting here on board with him.
They're in front of Mike. So Mike was in front of them, and Mike has damage on his car.
Where's Darren Yeo?
Daz is 12th.
So yeah, they was just in front. Here comes Machado. Looking to the outside on Gary Leach. Round the hairpin he goes. Don't think he's going to get it done. No, not just yet. Bit of a wiggle from Gary, but no, not yet. Machado still having to wait. Yeah, like you say, Mike then with damage on the front of his car. He's had a moment somewhere.
Oh, Machado just tapped the rear of Gary.
Yeah, he's waited. He's let Gary go, but that's going to allow Mike Matthews to possibly come through on Machado. He does indeed. And now is he going to get Gary Leach? I'm not quite sure at the moment. Vienna still with Eckholt. That's 0.3 of a second. Mike's also looks like he's got a bit of back-end damage, does he there? He's got Mike's got bad damage.
Yeah,
all that, the front,
backwards?
the front, the left and the rear of that car looks battered.
Yeah.
Michael Harris out front, P4 with Patrick Ledger, P5. It's going to be an interesting fight as well, Phil, isn't it? 0.3 of a second. Drive through Sky Schundelmeyer. Track limits. So
Already.
23 minutes gone.
Already.
And Sky Schundelmeyer twice tonight with track limit warnings will get a drive through. Well, that's going to bring Overtaker and Max and Tim into play.
Yeah. And he's only just got about the end of that lap, so he's got 2 laps to come in. If not, that's a DQ. Overtaker's now within 5 seconds of Max.
We've kind of been there all afternoon, though, without really doing anything.
So, yeah, pit window opens in just under 2 minutes. There'll probably be a few people glad to get in the pits and do the undercut, maybe.
It just depends on their strategy, doesn't it? Who's going to try and go to that half an hour mark and who's going to try and push on to the end of the window. This is on board with Harris, though, watching with Ledger and Matt Wright still there. Good night for some of the debutants tonight, Phil.
Yeah, but it's a really good night. I just watched Dan just disappear up the road from Cosby. it was like going into warp drive.
He seems to hit that 6th gear and it just take off.
Yeah, he was just gone. That is what is helping Dan in the braking zones. Right, it
is. As Machado's got back ahead of Mike, you have to think that's because of damage to Mike's car. Machado very quick through that right-hander, nearly lost control of the car. And all of a sudden, they've got McGowan with them, and Gary Leach still hanging on in there at P13 at the moment.
Yeah. So Gary's probably wish he was in the Ginetta on GT. How quick he was in that Ginetta on GT4. But McGowan's now with this group.
Yeah, trainer 4 once again, so another train that Schundelmeyer carries on his way. He's got to do his drive-through next lap.
Yeah, he's got to do it, if not you get disqualified, because it's far too early in the race.
I thought it went to a stop-go.
No, because Skunky got a drive-through for track. No, but his was for stop-go, for speeding.
Yeah, speeding in the pit lane, yeah. I thought it went drive-through stop-go, but hey, we'll wait and see for that.
It'd be better if they did go stop-go, or just a bigger penalty for ignoring it, not just DQ. We've lost a driver. We're down to 27.
We are down to 27. We've lost Darren, it looks like.
Yeah.
So let's see if he comes back in.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back in. If he doesn't, it'll be a retirement.
Just in case yeah, that'll be another person on another qualifying ban going into race 2 next week.
Yeah. So we've lost Darren.
Machado still on the back of Gary Leach here. You've got McGowan as well just behind these two, really putting pressure on Mike Matthews. There is battles no matter where you look tonight. Skunky, Matt Wright, Ben, Jamal Clouden, all in. So was Clouden light on fuel?
Oh, more highly.
Gary and Mike's in. Gary and Mike into the pits as well.
Tibbs is in, but he's got to serve his drive-through before he could do a pit stop.
Wittrup is in, Blackmore is also in, Daniel is in, Eckholt's coming in, Vienna stays out, Paolo stays out, Dis stays out. What do Tim and Max do? Tim stays out, Max comes in. An overtaker at the moment, what is he going to do? He stays out on track as well. So Cosby back within 7/10 of Dan, and this pit lane does hurt you.
Yeah, and this pit lane just got very busy very quickly.
Skunky done, Mike done, Wittrup done. Is Mike done damage then? Gary done, Matt Wright done. So they are all finished. They are not. They are not messing around.
Look how Gary and Mike are one.
So
the temptation in this pit lane to
Clouden's only just on his way out. Tibbs has only just done his drive-through for as quick as some of these have nearly pitted.
Yeah.
Mike didn't jump Gary, and look at that. Look at them all come out now. McGowan, is that Skunky just in front? Wow, these two have really gained on Skunky then into the pit lane.
Yeah. Ben's now coming out.
Witchup has jumped Skunky. Blackmore's just coming out. Echo still in there. Yeah, Dan's just crossed the line to go again. And look at that, he's got Cosme within 0.3 of a second of him once more.
Cosme's been rapid this second race, haven't he? O'Reilly's in.
He's been really good. Half the field nearly pitted in that first lap. 10 cars pitted.
Meanwhile, but all three Lexi keep going. That'd be about right. Oh, Lexus. It's been a few seasons since we had to say that when we had Camel and people like that racing Lexus. O'Reilly stopped.
I think who else used the Lexus. Dean did in Am. Camel did in Pro. Fury did.
Tim's in. This is in.
Yeah, O'Reilly's on his way out. It's a long way to get off the limiter here. Who's that coming out with O'Reilly? That is a 74.
74,
no, 74 is O'Reilly. Who else is that then in there?
That's Echo.
That's Echo. Ah, right, yeah, so he's repaired his damage.
Yeah. But with that pit lane, when you go past the first board, the temptation to shift up into second.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's an open pit lane. You're not technically in the pit lane anymore. But no, the game says otherwise. Sky's now in for his mandatory stop.
Yeah, Sky's now in. Tim's done. So it's going to be wondering where Tim comes out. Well, Leger now comes in. Here is Beasley. He stays out. Giggle stays out. Darren Yo with, that is, I believe, Blackmore just behind him.
A lap ahead of Blackmore.
Tony's a bit quiet in the chat tonight. And I know why. Yeah, I know why. There's a certain game of football happening. And it isn't going the way that people want it to go. Monkey Boy, the undercut was strong here last night. Was very powerful last night. I don't feel like it's been as strong tonight.
No. Is it? No, the temperature's a bit...
Is that a part as well, though, Phil, of the pace differential?
Yeah, I think so.
There goes Overtaker. He stays out on track as well.
He's trying to push, but... Oh, you got to be careful. Ledger's in. He might get called Jonathan Ledger before the end of the night.
Yeah.
I know that, right?
Dan has got to be thankful of this back straight, because at the minute that is what is saving him in this race, isn't it? Or saving him from a huge fight.
Yeah. Tony just said, it's hidden at the moment, I can't show it, but he just said, "Shut up, you tart."
On where?
on YouTube, chat.
I can't see that.
But another moderator...
Oh, stop go penalty, Patrick Ledger! Stop go penalty, car 42, track limits as well. Who's the 42? So Tim Venting, and a second one with track limits. Have you been able to see that? I can't see where Tony's put that.
I could see it, but it won't allow me to show it.
Right, there we go. That'll be why. Obviously, you're one of the moderators to see that. Naughty boy, Tony.
Well, tart is really a bad word, is it? Like Bakewell tart. Yes.
It's on the top chat for some reason. We've put all chat on. Evening to Hypertech in the chat as well. And we can now see it. I don't know why it didn't have all chat on. It just had top chat for some reason. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to hit that bell to be notified as Darren Yo is in. We've got Matt Wright trying to gain now on Gary Leach. He's got past Mike Matthews. He's now trying to gain on Gary Leach. And Patrick Ledger then, who had a great start to this race. Drive-through stop-go penalty for him, speeding in the pit lane. And Tim Venting, well, his night goes from bad to worse. That is a drive-through penalty. The BSP boys, both of him and Tibbs tonight, have both had drive-through penalties.
Yeah. Harris is still going. Contender for driver of the day, really.
Yeah, Harris, yeah, two second places. That would be a good one for him. Well, sorry, a second place wherever he finishes in this one at the moment. Gary Leach and has got Wright. Wright's dropped Mike. I think Mike repairing damage is going to hurt him more than help him here by saving time in that pit stop. That damage just looks too bad.
Ledger's in for his stop go.
Jamal Clouden round the outside of Daniel at turn 1. Daniel's going to have the outside line for turn 2. Clouden, though, manages to get the move done. Clouden looks a lot stronger in this race now.
Right, Cosme's in.
So this is now going to be interesting. We're going to see that undercut for Cosme, provided his pit stop is a quick one. We could see this undercut really work here. Cloudon's now got through on Daniel. Daniel's now got Ben right behind him. Ben, I tell you what, Ben's lost a few places in the pit stops.
Yeah, I'm sure Chris would say if he done change tyres or not.
I'll take it who Darren is not coming back because he's been out for a while. So that'll be a DNF for him.
And a quality ban for...
Well, provided, you know, internet problems or whatever, power cuts, whatever. But at the minute, let's see. So, yeah, Cosme's done. Paolo's in. So where's O'Reilly? O'Reilly was ahead of Paolo. Paolo is just crossing the line now. Stop go cleared for Ledger. So O'Reilly goes through. Darren Yo, 11th place. Darren Yo jumps Skunky as well in the pits. That is a heck of a stop from Darren Yo. Good evening to Chloe Davis in the chat. Darren Yo through. Skunky with fastest lap is through. Paolo's only just stationary now. Through goes Wittrup. Here comes Gary, Matt Wright, Mike Matthews all through. What about Clouden now? Well, him, Daniel and Ben are going to get through on Paolo. Still not away yet, Phil. So now here comes
Dan's
Max
in.
Mulder. Dan Davis is in. Tim Ventic's in for his drive-through. So there goes Max Mulder. What about McGowan? Paolo is now away, but it is such a long time till you come off that limiter. McGowan's going to get him. So Dan is in. Where's Cosme? Here he is. Let's keep an eye on this.
Harris is in. Beasley's in. I think Giggle is in as well. Just met Shardo come in. He's not... No, he ain't got time for another one. So he's got to come in now. Same with Vienna and same with
Vienna and Overtaker. Yeah, they've all got to come in on this.
Dan's stop is done. He's already gone green. And
yeah, good stop for Dan.
Oh, Tim's never drive through.
What's that one for?
The track limits.
The 42's now got us. Tim's got a stop go. So Tibbs, more drive through penalty for track limits, and now that is a stop go penalty again for Tim Venting, or a stop go penalty for Tim Venting for them track limits.
Yeah, where's Cosme? I can't find it.
Cosme's coming through. Dan's already out on track. Dan has pulled a blinder. That is a great pit stop from Dan.
I believe Harris is...
No, Harris is P4.
Harris is much closer.
He is indeed. Who is that on the back of him?
That's Ledger.
Is that Ledger? So Ledger's now a lap down.
Ledger's a lap down. He's going to be getting blue flags. He has to get out of the way.
Yeah, he does. He does. Indeed, so he's going to be getting out of the way of Harris. Here comes Matt Wright on then this of Gary Leach in this one. Still a great battle between these two. Mike Matthews just losing touch. You've got Daniel and Ben having a good fight. Ben having a look. Drive through track limits. That's Max Mulder now. The BSP Esports. In fact, BSP tonight, bar Ben, have all had drive-throughs or stop-goes. And they've just taken one too many track limits.
Taker is out and moving, and has he jumped?
Where's Taker? What number is he? 14.
14.
He's tumbling down the pack. I think he's ahead of Max Mulder. So he's 18th.
Well, he will be now.
That is a good stop from Overtaker. 18th place from last.
It is, yeah. And bearing in mind, Max has to come in and do a service drive-through.
Yeah. Tim Venting is in again.
For his stop.
This is now his stop go. This could give Leisure and Eckel an extra place here.
Yeah. So yeah, Taker's got up to 18. So proof that you never give up.
Gary's up to 11th. That's a good stop. So it's Dan from Cosme, from Harris, from Giggle, O'Reilly up to 5th. What a stop. Daz up to 7th. Cracking stop for him.
On his back, sniffing his exhaust pipe. So.
Yeah, he is indeed. Skunky was running P3, P4 before the pit stops?
P3 before the pit stops.
Yeah,
so did he put fuel in?
Well, possibly so, but he's looking up the inside of Daz. That is job done for Skunky.
Yep. Skunky through back in the P7, but...
Drive-through cleared for Tibbs. Tim Venting's in for the stop-go. Ledger still not getting out of the way. That is a full lap under the blue flag, says Fat Bloke. Well, that'll be down to Harris to put the ticket in. Tim Venting's still in. Max Mulder stays out. He's got to do his drive-through at the end of the next lap.
Or it's DQ.
Ben's still on the back of Daniel. Wright's still on the back of Gary. O'Reilly's putting a lap on Eckholt at the moment. And Harris, well, Harris isn't on the back, is he, of Ledger? So if Ledger can actually unlap himself, Oh, he's dropped back, says Fat Bloke in the chat. But if Ledger can unlap himself, he is allowed to do so. Did Dan just have a moment? He sounded like he got re-going.
He's wide there.
Yeah, I think Dan's had a moment somewhere. It sounded like the car started to go again, and then he's had a few twitches. Has Dan had a moment here then?
Well, we'll find out. Crosby was about 6 seconds behind in the previous sector. Still 6 seconds, so...
the line, yeah.
Or maybe we're hearing things. Giggles had a good night.
Yeah, Giggles had a cracking night. So Riley, though, are first and a fifth at the moment, and he's not far off the back of Giggle.
No.
You know, so he's had a cracking night. Back down to Gary Leach, Matt Wright battle. We'll also keep our eyes on Daniel and Ben.
Skunky's already nearly caught up easily.
Yeah,
so,
Skunky's flying. Skunky is flying in this race.
I reckon that's fresh rubber on Skunky's Ferrari.
I just think Skunky's had pace.
Yeah, and genuine pace. But did he put fresh rubber on for more grip? But you just
here comes Wright, having a look on Gary. Thinks better of it though. Tucks back in behind. Gary a little slow through that first couple of corners. Is Ben going to have a look on Daniel? No, he's not. Max Mulder is in for his drive-through. And if you look at that, look, Tim Bentinck still in from that stop-go penalty. I think that could possibly be a retirement from Tim Bentinck, you know.
Well, yeah, if it is, the quali ban next race.
Yeah, quali ban for Kyle Army.
Yeah.
I tell you who's had a great comeback is McGowan. Not the best of weeks last week. I know he's 19th, but he has put on some moves tonight.
He has, yeah, and he's...
Stop, go, clear. No, Max Mulder. Stop, go penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, Tim's moving. Tim is moving.
It has just all gone wrong for BSP Esports tonight.
Yeah, it's just...
A team that we were saying last week could challenge SimPlay Racing.
Yeah, and it's all...
I mean, look, drop scores are going to help them, Phil, aren't they? But...
Mike's
got a drive-through penalty now. It's all kicking off here.
You know, I just pointed at my screen and I saw Mike get a drive-through penalty.
Gary is somehow still defending from Matt Wright, by the way. Mike is straight in. He wants as much time to attack as he can.
Yeah, well, 20 minutes of a race to go, so... But... this should be called the track number Grand Prix, really, shouldn't it?
Jacob in the chat's asking for the current fastest lap time. Phil, I'll let you do that on the timetable. Matthias is fastest. Nope, Skunky is... Matthias is fast, sorry, I read that wrong. Senna in the chat, we missed Senna. Great to see Senna in the chat from Pro-Am last season.
I believe the fastest lap is a 34.1.
34.1, there you go, Jacob.
By Skunky.
As Giggle at the moment has got O'Reilly on the back of him.
O'Reilly's had some hell of a pace, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been great. He's been great. I tell you what, Gary's had Matt right there for a while now. Daniel's had Ben there, and I tell you what, he's not there anymore. He's side by side. Ben looking up the inside. Aston versus Ferrari. Stop go cleared for the 95. No, sorry, stop go. 2 laps left to do it. Ben's up the inside of Daniel. That is a move done. Great job there from Ben. Oh, he's not racing anymore, so that's a shame. Quick driver was Senna last season. Here comes Giggle then. Still got O'Reilly on the back of him.
42. It just said Tim's got another stop go for like many laps. It did.
Well, he's not cleared his stop go. That's a given.
Hang on, I'll see if
Who's
I can see
Who's that off? Who's that off? Who's the yellow flag? That is 42.
Yeah, that's Tim.
Oh, it's
because
Tim.
He was.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I can see it pop up on the main stream again. if I could see it, what it said.
Now, Jamal Clouden's in this fight, by the way, with Gary Leach and Matt Wright. Matt Wright tried to get up the inside of Gary Leach. This is all coming down towards the hairpin corner. Gary's going to be on the outside. Jamal Clouden's giving Gary Leach a flash of the lights. Gary's trying to tuck back underneath, but can't do so because Matt Wright's there. Gets a decent, takes it on the outside. Now Jamal Clouden's come to play. Gary Leach, can he try and go up the inside of Matt Wright? Clouden's going to try and look around the outside. It's not going to work for Clouden around there. He's going to end up too deep. And you just see there, look, had to brake a little earlier or be on the brakes for a little longer. Couldn't make the move stick, and now he's got to struggle to get past Gary Leach. It's took Matt Wright a lot of laps. And how long will it take Clouden?
Yeah.
Well, I say that all over the curbs. All over the curbs was Jamal.
Away.
Yeah, Jamal is straight away. Little wiggle from Jamal there, though. He's not going to do it this time around. Jamal trying to make up what he'd lost in race 1. And you're not going to get past Gary that easy.
No. Imagine if we had a proper touring car going on console. Right, Max has got to do his start of speed in the pit lane apparently.
Well, so's Tim Venting as well. So let's see what happens when they cross the line. But this is your closest fight on track at the moment. So Max and Tim, 27th and 26th.
254 laps remaining for Tim to serve his stop go.
He's still got to do it. It'll give him 130-second penalty. He's 2 laps down. He's still got to do his stop go penalty.
So, yeah, I don't know what the BSB esports boys have been doing today.
Well, they've been running the track limits a little bit, that is for sure. Clouden looking now down towards the inside line of Gary Leach as he got that run up the inside. He's going to try and brake later. That might not work for him though in terms of Gary. He's hit it hard on the brakes. Gary turns in, and I'll tell you what, he has got it done. Little wiggle on the exit though. That's going to open the door back up for Gary Leach here to come side by side with Jamal Clouden. Not enough though. The Porsche doesn't have the legs, and Jamal Clouden through and really sent that up the inside of Gary Leach here to make sure he got the job done as quick as he could.
Yeah, it did. There's Max disqualified for track limits.
Well, that is 0 points for Max Mulder.
And that was for track limits, not his speed in the pit lane penalty. Oh. No comment.
Well, it doesn't mean he's been cut in the corners or anything, does it? You know, we know what this track is like for track limits, so you know.
Yeah, but...
No, but now, hang on. He didn't do his stop go. So
he didn't do his stop.
It says for track limits. Yeah, he says for track limits, but he's obviously... The track limits is obviously for the stop go penalty he had. So it may not have been for extra track limits. It may have just been for that failure to do the stop go penalty.
His speeding and his stop go was for speeding in the pit lane.
Ah, it was. You're right. Apologies. Yeah.
It was. So he's then been taking track limits, and James gone. You know what? You've already had a penalty for this, and you got that stop go. Bang, you're gone. That was the game, I reckon, saying that. I tell you what, Skunky's on the back of O'Reilly.
Yeah, we was watching O'Reilly get close to back of Giggle a moment ago, but Skunky is coming also. Machado side by side with Sebastian Wittrup. The green and black BMW with a bit of white versus the red and white with a bit of black. BMW M4, Wittrup hangs on to that place for the time being. What a night of racing. What a night of racing. Yellow flag. Is that for Max? Machado's up the inside of Wittrup. Slow though on the apex. Wittrup's trying to come back at him now. Here comes Wittrup to the outside. Can't get it done. Machado hangs on to that one. Yellow flag. Is that for Max Mulder being in the pit lane? I don't think I saw one last night for for tech leader Luke Saunders and Monkey Boy. So not sure. Yeah, it must be because the green flag's on the start line.
That poor Marshall will have an arm ache at the end of the day.
O'Reilly's got Skunky, yeah.
Oh, just Tim's disqualified for track limits. It was. And that's what it said on the bottom.
And that'll be no points for Tim Venting.
And no points at all for BSP Esports.
And not in this second race, no. Not any.
No.
Not any. So, yeah, what a shame. We're now watching this fight between Giggle and O'Reilly and Harris. And Skunky. What a day for O'Reilly, though, can we just point out. Great win in the first race. And Harris. Great night for all of them.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, shout out to Cosby in the second race.
Yeah, Cosby's had a brilliant second race as well. Who else did well in race 1? That's having a good second race.
Paolo's P20.
Yeah, not really that second race. Diz, where's Diz in this race? Oh, Diz is down the order. Paolo, like I say, is down the order. Mike's down the order. Gary Leach is 8th and 13th. Wittrup 7th and 10th. Mulder 6th and DNF. Machado 9th and 9th. Do you know what?
Yeah,
do you know what? I'm going to put Cosme on there as well.
Yeah. Well, Max and Tim are both left the session now, so.
Well.
Then again, no, they're DQ, so.
Still.
Oh, who do I put? I think, yeah. That's who I've put. I still think they should have ran the McDonald's with the FBR in for. That went one on the Lexus.
Oh, I've just looked at the Discord. Max Mulder and Overtaker couldn't press the button to drive, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But yeah, interesting. So we'll see what happens either way.
Yeah, but Taker's not given up at all. He's now P17.
Yeah, no, he's carried on going. The others, obviously, track limits. So easy, though, to get track limits, isn't it, around here? And that's the big problem.
Yeah, well. And next up, we're going to a track where one of the track limits, if you hit the curb wrong, you're going to the moon.
Skunky's on the back of O'Reilly at the moment. He's having a look. Driver of the day's gone up, by the way. M. Harris, O'Reilly, Dan Davis, or Cosme. Get your votes in. M. Harris dominating the vote at the moment.
Yeah.
Good shout out, though, to Cosme. Obviously, where did he finish in race 1? It was 10th in race 1, so good day all in all. Good day.
Good day for Cosme, yeah.
You know, debut podium on his debut week here at SimPlay.
Again, we've still got 11 minutes yet, Matt. We don't want to do.
Oh, we have. But it could also be another Aston Martin on the podium. Which will mean
Sam finding form in GT4s.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, so let's have a look. They're just keeping with Cosme.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's really hampered Harris, has he? He's had that lap, but he's been able to pull away. So I think that's a lap of dropping it, you know, and dropping the hammer. Harris pretty content with maybe getting that P3. Good battle for 4th place here. We drop down the order. You've got Wittrup still trying to stick with Machado. You've got Ben, who's now on the back of Gary Leach. Gary's lost 4 seconds. Mike Matthews got Paolo sideways, and I think Blackmore straightened him up. But I'm not sure what happened there, but Blackmore and Paolo, Diz and Mike Matthews. Oh, Paolo's hitting back up the rear. Oh, that looks... Was that a retaliation?
I think that would probably
I'd hate to say so, but hopefully Blackmore puts that ticket in, because that looks a little sketchy.
That looked a little bit naughty, didn't it? From our angle, anyway, that's what it looked like. But that's why they've only
Speaking of angles, this is on board Ben, chasing down Gary Leach at the moment.
Skunky is right up the back of O'Reilly's Aston. I would say he's up the exhaust pipes, but they're out on the side on the Aston, behind the front wheels.
It's a shame that when the drivers put on their overalls and colours, it doesn't change them for us online.
No, I know, right.
That's a shame. There is Skunky.
It used to.
Yeah.
It used to change them, but there's something in one of the updates that stopped it.
It's a shame, because we've got the onboard shot of the driver as Skunky's now looking to cut the inside of O'Reilly. Can't get the move done. We're going to just drop back down to Gary Leach a second as Ben's now on the outside of Gary Leach. Is he going to try and tuck him back underneath? Ben, a touring car fan. Gary, a huge touring car fan. So this will be a great race to watch. 8.5 minutes left to go though, Philly. What has been an absolutely brilliant night of racing.
Yeah, I'm going to need a lie down. I suppose I'm not lying down now. Oh wait, I need a PlayStation Portal to do that. I do the comms through the Portal whilst laying down. Oh, Skunky's holding much better, tighter line than O'Reilly, and Skunky looks on to the outside for towards the first corner. No, Skunky's through.
Oh, we've missed that. We're watching the Gary and Ben fight, so Skunky's got past O'Reilly then, so fair play to Skunky. That is a move done.
That was more O'Reilly thinking, you know what, you're not my battle. You're clearly faster than me. You go after that pink Ferrari.
Well, the sun definitely starting to set, look, Pien. It's down to 20 degrees track and air temperature now.
Yeah. What's the next nearest battle? It's time we're all spreading out now. It has. Oh, there's
drive-through penalty.
One.
Sky Schundelmeyer, track limits. Here comes Ben up the inside of Gary. Ooh! That was tight between Gary and Ben there. And Ben yields and gives Gary the place. Matt Wright's gaining on the back of Wittrup, who's still sticking with Machado as well here, Phil.
Yeah, as Ben and Gary having a great little battle.
They are. They're having this is a real touring car style type battle. This has been fantastic to watch. Yeah, privileged to watch. Ben, I tell you what, Ben tonight, he's put on some moves. He has put on some moves.
He has, hasn't he? Oh, he's looked down the inside, little bobble off the curb though. The car twitched.
He's close to Gary, really close to Gary. This is on board Ben. Look at him pull Gary in. Oh, he's had to have a lift.
Crosby's now nearly 10 seconds behind Dan, as he's
possibly made a mistake.
He's let Ledger go. Maybe Crosby's tyres are dying.
Yeah, but maybe just bringing it home as well, though, Phil. You know.
Yeah. Maybe think, you know what, second is good.
Yeah.
I'll settle for this.
Well, Ben, right on board that now, on the back of Gary Leach. Ben is looking racy here. You just see his pin casting just tucking underneath that rear wing.
The massive wings these GT3s have. This weekend, in the real world of motor racing.
Oh, Gary's wide. He's had a moment. And through goes Ben now. So Gary's had a bit of a moment all on his own, and Ben goes through. He's not going to want a second invitation. Ooh. Now he nearly loses it on the curb. Let's drop as well to Wittrup, who's got Matt Wright with him. Sorry, what was he saying, Phil?
No, I was saying about his Peter Le Mans, the end of the IMSA season this year, this weekend. 10 hours. A 10-hour race.
There we go.
And next year's the return of the Meyer Shank racing team with the Acuras.
Yes.
LMDH.
So Wittrup coming under pressure. Skunky within a second now of Giggle. I tell you what,
but O'Reilly's on him.
I'm not a fan of Misano, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this week. I've thoroughly enjoyed this week. I think it's been brilliant. Last night, racing on Tuesday night, and bringing you the broadcast tonight. It's been brilliant racing.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic little bit of racing tonight, hasn't it?
It's been really good. It's been really good. Just dropping back down the order. Edward Blackmore.
Skunky's not dropped O'Reilly. O'Reilly's still with him.
And Skunky did drop off the back of Giggle a little bit. Blackmore still trying to hook down after Paolo. He's trying to chase down Diz, who's trying to chase down Mike. Mike's had another shocking night tonight. Not sure what caused the damage. Gary's still trying to stick with Ben. Matt Wright really trying to get past that. Schundelmeyer staying out of the way of Machado, and that of Wittrup, and that of Wright as well.
And Clouden.
Tell you what, Clouden's gaining on this train.
He is, isn't he? It's like this phase of the race, the Merc's just come to life.
There's Jamal. Probably not in black gloves, black helmet and red overalls. He's probably in something much fancier. There he is.
Well, probably the game default actually, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, online.
Yeah.
Oh, 998 with a drive through. That's That's
Ledger. It's Ledger. So I don't think that's going to help out Eckhart. He's
might
back.
as well stay
Oh no, he
out
is. He's
anyway.
5 seconds. Yeah, that will help Ledger. But that will help Eckhart.
Yeah.
3:02 now's got a
Skunky!
drive through. Skunky's got a drive through. No. Just as he was on the verge of a P4, maybe. He's got a drive through. What a shame.
This phase of the race as well, it's just
Heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
I would love to see how many warnings down. Oh, Sky's been disqualified now for track limits.
Well, that will be no points for Sky Schundelmeyer.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, really, because I think he made it tonight after all the hell that Florida's gone through.
Yeah.
Yesterday. I mean, Paul Robert Smith tried, didn't he? And
yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, but
well, it is what it is. That'll be no points for Schundelmeyer. And if you're wondering, if you're thinking yes, but he's got to 3/4 distance, it is a disqualification, not a retirement.
No.
So Skunky with the drive through. This fight with Giggle's going to be put to bed. O'Reilly's going to capitalise. Richard Beasley and Darren Yeo might capitalise here as well. Matt Wright's got Jamal Clouden right up the rear wing, and he's still with Sebastian Wittrup.
Yeah, Clouden's looked really good this phase of the race.
That's Ledger
where was
who's
this
in.
earlier?
Yeah, where was this earlier? That's the question. Ledger's now in.
Yeah, wouldn't be no point. You wouldn't.
Skunky's got one lap.
Actually, Skunky's got a server because you think it's
We haven't had the warning for the. We haven't had the warning for the final lap of the race. Danny's at the first hairpin and is well clear.
Yeah.
Bad day for BSP. It is indeed, unless you're Ben.
Yeah, so maybe it's right to do one because Dan's far enough up the road. So for another probably 2 laps.
Nah, this one and then the next one will be the last.
Yeah, which means Skunky has to serve his drive-through.
Yeah, this lap.
This lap. Oh, Dan's pushing the limits. Oh, I just put up that Dan.
Clouden's got to run. Clouden's got to run. He's coming up the inside of Matt Wright. This is for Jamal Clouden to move it to 11th. It's a good move up the inside. It's patient racing. Jamal Clouden, P11, good move there. And he's got Machado and Wittrup in his sight as well, Phil. Still with 2 laps to go. Clouden could be on the verge of a top 10 here.
Yeah, what could have been though. But
yeah, qualifying's ruined him.
Yeah.
Now the leader starts the final lap. Drive through for the 1-1-2. Who's the 1-1-2 now who's got a drive through? That's Michael Eckholt now, so we might give the place back to Ledger.
Yeah.
You can't make some of these drive-through penalties up. There's been a few tonight in Pro.
Skunky's now about to cross the line. Boom.
And that is a disqualification. That'll be no points. The fastest lap will still go the way of Skunky. But that'll be no points in the race. That is a double. No points scored for Skunky here in this race. That is 4 disqualifications and a retirement here in Pro tonight.
And 2 last night in Pro-Am, weren't there? DQs.
Yeah, but that was really kind of harsh on them.
Yeah.
In terms of Monkey Boy and Luke Saunders. These is because drivers have failed
to serve their penalties.
You know. So, yeah. Decent, solid drive. A good solid drive from Iris last night. Good night for Team FBR. Another great stream, lads. Well done. Thank you very much, Fat Bloke. Clouden is now 10th. Could push for a top 9. Where's Dan Davis? He's coming towards the back end of the circuit. Well, it's going to be 2 race wins this season for Dan Davis. It's going to be 2 race 2 wins for Dan Davis. But you can take nothing away from what he's done in this one. He's been fantastic from the start to the finish. And Dan Davis, with a flash of the lights, drive-through penalty, car 28. That's Blackmore as well, who's got one. Dan Davis wins the race. Cosme's going to come home for a solid debut P2.
Yeah.
In a great night's worth of racing for himself. Michael Harris is going to round for a P3. Good stuff from him as well. P4 then, just for giggle. who's going to hang in there over O'Reilly for P5. Richard Beasley's going to be P6. Good stuff from Richard Beasley.
Good points for FBR as well.
Great points for FBR in their Constructors' Championship. Tell you what on it as well, Darren Yo, P7. That's a great race. That's a lap down for Ledger behind him. Machado's going to cross the line P8. Jamal Clouden will cross the line P9. Witchup P10. Oh, Clouden got Witchup at the end. Matt Wright P11. Ben's going to come home for P12. Gary Leach P13. Daniel McGowan 14-15. Overtaker 16. Hey, he stuck in there and got the points at the end.
Yep.
Vienna 17th place. Then it's just this wait at the end of
Mike.
this one. Yeah, for Mike. Well, for
have you
Mike
seen Mike's
and
car?
Diz and Blackmore.
I think the only straight panel on Mike's car is his roof.
Well, here comes Mike Matthews then in this race. It looks like he's going to manage to hang on in there for P18. And a good result there for, well, I say a good result. A result for Mike Matthews. Paolo is down in 21st. We're awaiting him to finish.
Yeah, he's across the line.
He is across the line, and now we just wait till the very end. Overtaker, though, at the end there, 16th place for him. McGowan got across the line. He was P15 points on the board for McGowan, double 15th places. Jamal Clouden, P9 in the end there. Diz come across the line. He was 19th. Blackmore. Oh, Blackmore. I think Blackmore will lose out 21st to Paolo. Wright finished 11th. It's not going to do it until the end of the race when it goes to the screen. Echo 22nd and Ledger 23rd. We will, though, head into the Discord chat for the commentators' interviews to see if drivers will join us in there. Back in just a moment.
Green light, go, go, go.
happy about it. This year we have a huge grid again. We have 39 cars on the grid for this weekend, which is absolutely incredible. Very, very talented drivers out there, so very, very competitive series. We have to be part of it. Let's hope to have a good result as we had last year. We finished quite a podium, so hopefully trying to go again for a strong result this weekend. Yesterday we had a good practice session, which was wet, so today it's dry. We'll start again from zero, and let's see where we are going now. We're looking forward to it. We're well prepared. Do the maximum we can to top again. So I will show you a lot. Promise we'll start from the last quarter for the coach to make straight here on this racetrack. Probably approach the first corner now. In 6 years, it comes into the third year, so I think we're going to speak. Position of the car is very important for the next 2 corners, the left and right corners that follow 21 obviously. So you can get a lot of time by positioning the car in the right position. We go down into third and fourth, shifting down to the second gear. Obviously this situation sparking a lot of grip was very bad yesterday, and the dark is also quite tricky to find the right references. We go through this turn 6, which is very important. You use basically everything you have in terms of racetrack to carry as much speed as possible. Focus on turn 7, down here, left and side corner, second gear. Was the same approach. Actually, you try to leave maximum you can from the brake and as early as possible to the power. Then you have a long right and the other side, right and side corner, which actually puts you on the longest straight of this racetrack here. You go through the gears, up to 60 gear, through this very fast right thing, which is tricky the wet, but easy flat and dry. And approaching the last sector, another right corner where you actually brake it with gear, and it's actually quite tricky to find a good balance through this part. Another slow speed right corner before you approach the last 2 medium speed left corners on this Santa Monica racetrack. The last one again, very important here again to carry a lot of speed and get the exit right. And that's a lot with me here yesterday in the wet practice. Really look forward to this weekend and the whole season. Hope you enjoy it with us. Hope you enjoy the love with me and have fun watching us live stream. Hello everybody, welcome to the first round of the 2016 Montway GT Series here at Misano on the Atlantic. It's going to be my home race, and we're happy to be back in Montway Tribute Series this year for the Cross Racing team. And I will be driving the number 63, number 23 once again. Really happy about it. This year we have a huge grid again. We have 39 cars on the grid for this weekend. It's absolutely incredible. Very, very talented drivers out there, so very, very competitive series. We have to be part of it. Let's hope to have a good result as we had last year. We finished quite a podium, so hopefully trying to go again for a strong result this weekend. Yesterday we had a pre-practice session. have your